And Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. This thing together, just give us a hot little jump, hop and a skip, and we'll be right on. Okay?
I'm actually ready.
Oh, we're actually ready. Well, hey y'all. Hey, it's your girl Angel Divine. We live everywhere.
We live everywhere.
Hey y'all. Hey, it's your girl Angel Divine. But y'all already knew
Teach
that.
from the podcast here, loud and clear.
Loud and clear. And we got the beautiful, the amazing missionary evangelist, preacher lady, Lady Low in the house.
Hey y'all.
Y'all know it's story time. The story we got today, you don't want to miss it. I'm telling you. So go get your mama. Put them kids up. It's 7 o'clock. Give them a bath and put them in the bed. We might be here for a while. Get your wine, your tea, your bleezy, your popcorn, whatever makes you feel good when you watch a good movie. Oh,
What is that right there, your Facebook?
that's Facebook. Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Angel Divine, but I already know that. And if you didn't know, you didn't. Like, share, and subscribe. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know we normally be
right there on that
there.
yeah, like push it back.
Do you need this one? No, that ain't gonna hold this up. Hey y'all, what's up? I'm having a trouble hanging the thing up, but it's all right. What is ringing? You gotta get this thing. Oh,
What happened?
the fight's out. Got to put your lights. I don't know, but we lost Insta. Oh, here we go.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, sorry for the delay. We're gonna get it together one day, I promise y'all. We're still working on stuff. We asked y'all last time if y'all know of any streamers so we could combine all our stream labs together. We don't have
I ain't
to
telling.
do this. Ain't nobody answer us nothing.
Can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, please say the word. How was lip watching me? Thank you. Thumbs up. That means you can hear, right? How was lip watching? Oh, are you what?
Not from not from that. Lip was watching me. She might be on. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, it's watching you.
Oh. Hey y'all, again, it's your girl Angel Devon. We got Lady Low and Teach from the podcast on here. Again, today is story time. And the story that we got, well, not we, but the story sister got for y'all on this evening. Oh, it's good. It's good. Like, after church when you full, good. Okay. She got the meat, she got the snacks, the meat, the lunch, the dinner, the brunch, the breakfast, maybe all in one. Okay. So, what's wrong? Your stuff is delayed. What happened?
Everything on it, like, ew.
Okay, well, let's do this. Hold on.
Y'all, we trying. Y'all, please give us a minute. I'm so sorry. We are really trying.
Hold on just a little while longer. It's just you. Okay, there we go.
Oh, thank you. God, what you do?
You doing? Because I got that angelic.
Yeah, you gotta try to show me some tricks.
We already had prayer, baby. Somebody would like for us to have prayer. Can you go ahead and pray? Can you pray, lady? Lady Love? All right, we're gonna go ahead and have prayer for you, baby. We can never have too much
We
prayer.
praying off air, but we could pray on air too, because God is universal.
Y'all can hear, right? Give me a thumbs up or something to let me know if y'all can hear. Because I know sometimes when I set my phone a certain kind of way, it be a little, y'all know how it be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.
All right. Father God, as we come to you as humbly as we know how, we just ask that you forgive us for all of our sins, our iniquities, and our transgression. Forgive us for the things that we have done that was known and unknown, God. God, we just pray that this podcast, that your story that you have you have gave me, Lord God Jesus, that is able to touch someone, God, that is able to deliver and set people free, God. God, that someone is able to come out from their trials and their tribulations, God, that someone is able to speak up and step out, Lord God Jesus. God, we just pray that lives are changed, God, that this story is not just heard, but it's also felt, God, that your sovereignty and your providence shows, God, that your light, God, that was in my life, Lord God, Jesus, is able to be seen, God. God, we give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. We give you all the credit, God. Don't allow the enemy to have no room, Lord God, Jesus, God. Take away every nervousness, God. I ask that you speak through me, God. You speak in me, God. God, allow the fruits of my spirit to be able to shine. God, we just pray that tonight is great and that is awesome, God, that you come in the room, God, that you meet us, God, that you meet everyone where they're at, God. Go and touch every screen, Lord God, Jesus, God. Allow everyone to be able to get something from this, God, whether they are able to understand or not, Lord God, Jesus, God. Allow your word to be spread, Lord God, Jesus. And God, we give you all the praise, God. We worship you in spirit and in truth. And we just say thank you for this opportunity, God. God, thank you for the podcast, Lord God, Jesus, God. Thank you for being in the midst of it all, God, through it all, God. Your word says that you are the same, God. You're the same before, God. You're the same in it, God. And you are going to be the same after it, Lord Jesus. God, your word says that 2 to 3 that touch an agreement down here on earth, that you and your angels will be in the midst, God. So we give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. And we just say thank you for all things. Thank you for everything. And thank you for your existence. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
If that ain't touch you, I don't know. You at the wrong place at the right time. All right, y'all. Oh God, that was a good prayer right there. That was a word. Church is over. Like, I'm joking. So, you didn't introduce yourself. We gotta let the lady of the house.
I thought we all did that. Hey, it's Peach from the podcast. Again on this Wednesday night, coming to you with story time, and we are so excited to be here.
We are. So as I did say, oh, uh-oh. Jesus. As
Technical difficulties again, so sorry. But we're here. We're ready to get started. Hopefully, no more delays. Devil, you as a liar, get deep behind us.
because he is not welcome here.
Everything that you're trying to stop from coming out is going to come out anyway.
Heard it that she did that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just gonna jump right into it because what we gonna keep y'all waiting
What
for?
else to do?
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. So y'all know how we do it on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, you know, it's story time. So we have this powerhouse to my right. You know, sometimes you gotta go like this, left, right. To my right, who God sent her to us. Had a brief conversation with her and with a couple people actually, and her story touched me. Because many of us can relate to some of the things that she's gonna say on tonight. I'm not gonna say too much because it ain't my story to tell. Okay, so we're gonna turn the mic right on over to First Lady Low. I call her everything. First Lady, missionary, evangelist. Okay.
Before you start talking, tell the people where they can find you at. If you have any pages or anything that you want to be found, where they can find you at, or any of that stuff.
Y'all can find me at church.
I like that. I like that.
What church do you was in?
Um,
Okay, any church.
Any church. I'll be at all of them.
She be at all of them except for mine.
Out of town, everywhere.
She be at all of them except for mine.
All right.
So wherever you want to start, you can introduce yourself. You know, let people know where you from, what's your name is, and what made you decide to come on this beautiful day or evening.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sister Low, or you can call me Sister in Christ. You can call me Lil Low. I'm Lil, but I'm 22 years old. I'm from Lansing, Michigan. And yeah, we about to get down into it. The title of my message is going to be under God's sovereignty and covered by God's providence. So here we go. God was there the whole time. This is a testimony about God's sovereignty and providence, about trusting Him when life didn't make sense and recognizing His hand only in hindsight. If you've ever wondered where God was in your hardest season, I pray my story reminds you that even when you couldn't see Him, He was present, He was working, and He is keeping you
Mm.
through everything. For my story, He was present, He was working, and He was keeping me through abuse, suicide, grief, addiction, homelessness, discrimination, um, and etc.
Mhm.
All right.
So, y'all better take y'all notes because this is about to be juicy. Okay. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask her, you already know how we do it. Just go ahead and just drop it down in the chat. We are watching from all the platforms. So yeah, ask your questions.
I am gonna go by topic, topic to topic, so that way when you guys ask questions, I'm not on a whole nother topic. First we're gonna start from the beginning of my life. So I was not planned when my mother and father had me. I was actually a surprise. Um, but God knew what He was doing from the very beginning. Um, at 4 years old, which is my earliest memory, um, for about 8 years, 5 months, 16 days, from the age of 4 through 12, I was molested by my biological father. Um, it all started when I remember I got called to the basement of our 4 bedroom home. He had his own little room in the basement where it had plastic up. I got called to the basement, um, and he was asking me questions, but it was weird because I was 4 and I don't really remember all the questions. Um, I can't say too much because we are on live, but some things happened in the basement. He had a couch in there. He had a whole bunch of different little things, papers, everything. Um, anytime my mom would come around because she started to realize the signs of like distortment and little signs that I was giving her. The first sign was when I took a bath and it was burning. So she took me to the hospital. Um, they then from there told her that I was open and something could be going on. Of course, they asked me if anything was happening. Of course, I said no. I was trained to not say anything. I was told to not do nothing. As a child, you still love your parents. If you ever did anything to your children, your nephew, or anything while they're young, they still come back to you, and it's like they forgot whoop them or they forgot you screamed at them or anything. As a child, I was told by my biological father that he could get in trouble, so don't say anything. I viewed him as dad, as my safe keeper, my protector. So of course I didn't want dad to get in trouble. Um, so I told them no. They asked me, did I fall on a bike or something? I said no. Every answer to their question was no. So they brushed it off. They couldn't do anything. The hospital did not get CPS involved. They didn't do anything. They just took my word. Um, from there, I started to show signs of acting up. I always wanted to be with my mom. She didn't understand why I just wanted to go to church with her. Like most kids just want to be at home. I would throw items across the house. I would throw tantrum. Um, and of course, I did not know that all this stimulated from the abuse I was going through. Whenever my mother asked questions about if I was being touched or anything, my father was always there, or he would like be in the kitchen, we'll be in the living room, and he'll be peeking. I always noticed that he was always around when she asked. As I got older, she did ask when he wasn't there. I still didn't say anything. Um, it was times that I had to do things in order for him to feed my siblings. Um, when my mom wasn't home, she didn't know she was on at church very often. Um, so he would make me do things, or he'll say that he'll take us all to the corner store, he'll buy us something. Um, he would even go. I had a little piggy bank. My grandma gave us money all the time. I went around the neighborhood selling pictures that I drew or candy or anything. And while being asleep, he would take my money. Sometimes he'll come in the room when I'm asleep and touch on me. My sister and I did have a bunk bed. We shared a room at the time, so he would always wait until everyone was asleep. Um, he was always in charge of doing the laundry. I didn't understand this until after everything went down. His point of doing a laundry was because he was touching on me. So he didn't want any evidence left over. I didn't end up telling my mother until it was her birthday dinner. Um, and I told her over text. I told my little sister first, because I was just tired of it. God was giving me dreams, He was giving me visions, and I said, "This is the day. Like I have to do it." Like I was really fed up and sick of everything. Many of you may not know, but my father was also a false prophet. While he was doing all these things, he was also over the pulpit. He was also praying for people. He was also basically doing God's work. Um,
Can I ask you a question
yes.
before you to that? Okay, so um while you how so at this where we are now or in this story, how old were you?
Where I told my mother,
Yeah.
12.
So you was 12, and at this time your abuser
Yeah.
was a preacher.
Yeah. He wasn't a preacher. He was a evangelist.
He
A
was
minister.
a minister.
Yes.
So in that while that was going on, what did you think about God during that?
I didn't like. I don't like to use the H word, but I really did not like it. I remember I was around 5 years old. My sister and I had a king size bed at the where it originally happened. The abuse happened. Um, took a broom. It was a red broom. It had black thing at the top and black bristles with little brown bristles at the bottom. Nobody was upstairs, and I took the broom and I ran around the whole perimeter of the room, hitting the ceiling with the broom and telling God, "Stop running from me. I don't like it." And I kept hitting it, thinking I'm hitting God. I was crying. I was crying. Um, I was mad.
Mm-hmm.
I told him, "I don't understand why this happened to me, especially my own father." My father was locked up, so I didn't meet him until after he had got out of prison. So he already kind of had a history, but it wasn't for molestation. It was for um, like stealing and things like that. Um, I was really angry with God, but I was cool with him at the same time because that was his background. So I did sing in the choir, I did still dance and stuff, but behind closed doors, I was cussing God out. I was very bright at a young age, um, very knowledgeable. Um, but God was my enemy. Um, but I also didn't like the devil. So I just didn't know where my faith was, even though I was very young. Um, So after all that happened, I had mixed feelings with God. Sometimes I was cool with him, sometimes I wasn't. Um, a lot of things happened during these 8 years. It would be times where he would be on the phone talking to his mom and doing what he's doing with me. Um, it would be times where he's talking to other people. I remember times when he would bring other random women in the house when my mom wasn't there. Um, he did it to multiple ages, but his was his go-to. When you're vulnerable and you
Touch your sibling.
um um so my dad was also he was a alcoholic and he also was a drug he was in and out of rehab. Um and my when I told my sister what had happened, she told me that she had a feeling that something was going on because she said he will always call you, to random places and by yourself. He was nice to me and mean to her. Um, he did try to touch her, but she didn't let. She said, but he tried when she was much older, and she said, "No, you're my dad. Dads aren't supposed to do those things." And that's when she realized that he was probably doing it to me. Um,
Someone said that I know this pain too well. You're strong. They were getting emotional. And Crystal said, Latoria, Latora.
yeah.
Okay, she's the one who said that she know the pain, and Crystal said you didn't deserve any of that. I just want to say.
Um, so once I came out, my mom, she believed it automatically.
That's good.
She said that's why she always asks me those questions. My mom, she's not a false prophet. She's full on for Jesus. Um, my mother, I would say my dad was her second choice. She had a first love, but he had passed away. And so my father was her second choice, and with this, she listened to everyone around her. They're from the South. Um, so that helps why he probably do it. But anyways, um, she listened to everyone around her, her mom, her grandma, her sisters, telling her that she should get with him and marry him. They knew each other since they were kids, like doorstep. Like his mom and my mom's grandma lived right across the street from each other, and they were best friends still to this day. Um, it was a lot. Um, Once I told my mom, I texted her over. I took my sister's phone and made it seem like it wasn't me talking, but she knew it was me. She flew right home. She stopped the dinner, everything. Called the cops. She had me tell her everything. The cops came, and during this time, they took it very seriously. I know nowadays it kind of takes a minute with certain cases and molestation and stuff, but this time around they were fast with everything. They made sure to re-ask me questions and things like that. And I just told them everything. Um, my mom said that it was nothing but God because before I came out and told her, she said that I didn't know, but she would be sleeping. God had her move from her room to sleep in the hallway on the floor. And she said, I didn't know what was going on, but God just told me to start sleeping in the hallway. She said, your dad didn't even know I was sleeping in the hallway. And one time he came out in the hallway and I said, what you doing? Like she started going off on him. And asking him like why he getting up, da da da. So she started telling God to start revealing things. Um, and I remember um right before this all stuff started going chaotic and things, I was talking to God and the devil at the same time. And I told the devil, bring it on. Whatever you got to throw at me, do everything. Um, I can handle it. God got it. And this was the time where God was giving me dreams and visions of certain things that were actually happening and actually taking place. I didn't understand what prophecy was. I didn't understand. Um, I knew when God was talking to me, but not. Um, so I went to court. Um, the ball was in my hand with everything with court. Um, my mom was upset about some of the decisions I made, but I was very vulnerable and I still viewed him as my dad, no matter what had happened during the time. I had the option to give him life or to give him like one of the other maximum sentences, which was like 22, 25 years. Um, the difference between me picking the options were life, I would have to show all the pictures of everything that had happened. And I didn't want to expose myself to everyone in the court. And I also didn't want him to see what he already did because he know what he had did. I did write a letter to him and go over the thing, and I spoke. I read the letter out loud. But I just gave him the 22 to 25 years. Um, it was really bad. The reason why life sentence was on the line is because I was I was messed up. I was told I wouldn't be able to have children. I was told it was just everything was bad. They said what happened to me was worse than what happened to a 16-year-old on the average. He also did like videos, photos, everything like that, which I was unaware of, but they had to come and search the house and everything. And that's when they found that he was doing other things as well. Um, I'm not gonna give his name just because we all have his last name, but he's on Otis. Y'all can find him. Everything he has done. Um, yeah. Um, I was told by state that I had to go to therapy. That is nothing that I could control. I didn't want to. I chose to have a man therapist because at the time I said women ask too many questions and I wasn't ready to talk about it. And I only knew women because my mom, like, sometimes still to this day, she asks questions.
We gotta
It's
go.
crazy.
Let me see who this question thing out.
It's okay. Um, so I went to therapy. I faked therapy for about 2 years. The only reason why they graduated me and let me go is because he said when she's ready, she'll open up. I can't do nothing from here. Um during those years, and a little bit after, I did have suicide attempts. But they weren't like for attention. Nobody knew about them until they found out about it. I was a very active cutter. I cut myself multiple times on my wrist. I even put like bandages on so I could hit something.
Just 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Hold up 1 second. Because she's moving on to another subject, I just want to make sure that nobody have any questions pertaining to what she has already spoken about. Grandma, you asked the question, did he go to jail? You just heard her. He did go to jail. She gave him 22 to 25 years. So if anybody have any questions pertaining to what happened to her up until this point, ask them now because we will not be going back to those questions. She wants to stay in sequence with how she got things lined up. So we're gonna give it about a good minute,
A good minute. Yeah.
and then to see if somebody types something, and if not, then we'll move on.
Over here is Landria. Is Landria? That's a nice name. I like that. That's cute. God continue to give her the strength. She's touching so many hearts. So they're asking God to give you the strength.
Amen. Touching it.
Lady Kills is on here. She is my life coach. Oh no, you didn't. The devil is a liar. Yeah, 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 yeah. This must be your family. Auntie don't play. Okay. Hey, family.
Okay.
No one there. Nobody have any questions? Okay. How do you deal with your anger?
Um, it took a long time. It took me having a baby. Um, to heal and deal with it. A lot of things I do is gospel music, um, praying, like just not even just praying, just talk to God, and learning to find peace and happiness, which was the hardest thing to do. Um, there's really nothing that you can do until you work on yourself. That's how I'm gonna say it. Forgiveness was the hardest part. That's the only way you're gonna be able to deal with your anger. All honesty, you walking around like a bomb ready to explode, like just be set off. Forgiveness. You'll be mad at everybody because you felt like they should have known, or they should have seen the signs, or they should have realized that you were hurting or in pain. Um, Especially if somebody has been through that, and you'd be like, how could you not have known? Or if somebody went through it before you, why didn't you say something so this could have stopped? Um, just learning to forgive, but you got to forgive yourself first before you forgive the person. Um, Forgiveness, a lot of people get it mixed up. They think that forgiveness is for the next man, and it's really for yourself. Because at the end of the day, they're going to have to deal with what they have to deal with. Whether they deal with it now, whether they deal with it now or in the future.
What that was. Someone said, "Did you ever, Latora? Did you ever fully forgive him?"
Yes. Um, I forgave him about 2 years ago fully. That's the thing about forgiveness and healing. Think you forgave, and you think you healed until a trigger is set off, and then you're back at it all over again. I did forgive him. I actually want to write him a letter. I actually wanted to go up, like go there and tell him, but I couldn't be around him. It took me to forgive him all over again, and I'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, I forgave him. Every now and then I pray for him. It's not often, but when God put it on my heart, I do pray for him every now and then because a lot of people like to say that everyone is God's child, but we have to remember 1/3 of the angels fell from heaven. Some of these people on earth, everybody is God's creation. Everything is God's creation. But as far as God's child, some of them are 1/3.
Um, um, so it started when you was 4,
Yeah.
and it ended when you was 12. So he was locked up since you were 12.
Yes.
Is he still incarcerated?
Yes.
Oh, he does. He gonna be there.
And I just want to say something real quick because I should have said it in the beginning, and we are not any experts on here. We just, giving you guys what God has given us. But we do not have no degrees. So
We have degrees, just not in.
we don't have no school degrees. We don't have no degrees in psychiatry.
There it is.
That's what
We're
I'm
not a
trying to
therapist.
say.
None of that.
I didn't say we're here for nothing.
Right. Excuse me. Let me correct myself. We're not everything that we are every advice that we're getting is from experience. So we're just hoping that you can use it however you will.
And that's the best degree because can't nobody with a degree ever tell you how to feel about something that happened to you if they never experienced it.
Yeah.
So if they never went through what we went through, you can't tell me you understand or even tell me how to get through it because reading a book ain't gonna do it. It's for some people it may,
It ain't.
but it don't work. Everything
It
works different strokes for different folks. So how she got over her abuse may be different than how I got over my abuse, different than how she got over her abuse.
But it's still all the same as that
It's
we
still-
went through
we
it.
went through it and we felt it.
And I'm sorry, one more thing before you read that. And a thing to her point when she said, she's gonna talk later about forgiveness. We just need to understand that forgiveness is a choice. It's making the choice to forgive. You have to make the choice because sometimes when you forgive, you're not feeling that. You're still angry, you're still bound up, but it first starts with a choice.
Yes.
Okay.
So Latori, how do you say her name?
Latora.
Oh, so Latora. Latora said, y'all, I can see y'all saying I ain't squinting. Okay, sorry. That's where my issue is. I have never forgave my abuser. I really never spoke my truth about the whole situation, but it definitely mentally messed me up. And I'm gonna say this to you, because I literally Monday just fully came out about a lot of stuff that I just experienced. When you are, first of all, talk to God first and tell him, well, ask him to give you the strength to be able to really even talk about it so that you can get over it. And then he's going to lead you to the people to talk about it too. But you need to let it go because you will never heal if you do not let it go. And I'm telling you, even if you don't forgive them, the thing is, don't look for an apology if your abuser is still living and not locked up. Don't look for an apology. Don't look for closure because you may not get that from that person. You have to be the one to heal from that. So you have to go through it to heal yourself from it. Well, you're not going to heal yourself. God's going to heal you. But you have to make that first step to want to be healed, to let that thing go.
You can't heal what you conceal.
You can't heal what you conceal.
You have to let it out.
I guess everything of what I just said.
Latoya, you can't really see me, but you know who I am. So if ever you feel like you need a platform to tell your story, just reach out to me. I give you that.
So whenever you're ready.
For people who are trying to understand forgiveness a little bit more, you'll kind of know when you're either in your healing stage or you have healed when you get to talking about it. Usually you're able to talk about it without crying. Usually, or even if you do cry, that's how you know you're starting your healing phase because you're ready to talk about it. Keeping your mouth shut is just going to keep building up stuff. Keep building up pressure is going to keep you bound and locked up. And sometimes that you have to force yourself to literally talk about it to break that cycle and break those chains and start to forgive. Sometimes you have to force your healing. Sometimes you have to force your forgiveness.
Amen. Okay, so Yolanda said you are a very smart and beautiful young lady. I'm glad you're healing and telling your testimony. Your story will help a lot of women and men. It also is helping me.
Thank you.
Okay. So now we're gonna move on to the next step. Cause listen, y'all, we're not rushing this thing. We don't have no time limit. Y'all know how we do this. Y'all know how we do. We'll sit here all night if we have to. So we're gonna listen. If we gotta Intermission, get a snack, come back. Okay, go ahead. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I'm gonna pull it up right here, then I'm gonna move this back so everybody can be seen.
Okay. I left off at suicide attempt. Yes, I was doing multiple cuts. This was my main arm because my dominant hand. I tried my thighs, but that hurt way too bad. I did my left arm a little bit. Nobody knew about it until like family members start peeping. I don't know if sister told on me or what, or my mom just found out. However it went, my mom found out. Um, the way my mom reacts to some things is a bit dramatic. Sometimes when parents they haven't been through certain things, which I'm starting to realize as a parent myself, sometimes the reaction is not it. I am a person who needs gentle parenting because and I will blame that on my abuse because of what I went through. Sometimes when you try to go up there with me, we there. It just puts up a wall for me. I don't like all the yelling because I get there. Like I crash out. At least I used to. I would crash out a lot. And it just made me want to do it more. And she told me how I wouldn't be able to get jobs, go to school, nothing if they would see it. So I prayed about it. Um, put a little bit of coconut butter on there, and God took care of that. Um, it was other attempts I tried. I tried to hang myself. Um, the thing snapped, and I was lightweight. I just now started to gain weight. Um, it snapped. And I did it from like a metal, like from the bed, like the metal part of the bed. Um, I took pills multiple times. Um, the main time I remember taking like the most I took was 89 pills. Um, at once, and I went into the tub and I woke up in the water, like underneath the water. I woke up and got out of there. I was tripping. Um, um,
God have a purpose.
yeah, literally every time I threw the towel in, it was like a boomerang.
Okay, that's like he's telling me like, girl, you ain't in control of your life. I'm in control of your
Yeah,
life.
that's how I know. Also, like when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah.
That's really
Only thing you do is inflict the pain on yourself.
Yeah,
Because I didn't tell you to go nowhere.
Yep.
You're gonna stay here until I say you go.
And
And
he
it
sit-
literally, yeah.
And he sits there like, now I'm gonna let you feel that pain.
Exactly.
That's
Because I definitely had health issues from
Yeah.
it. It was crazy. Um, it was a few other things. I also um started, doing drugs and stuff, but I'll get into that. Not heavy stuff, just marijuana.
that ain't a drug.
Yeah, I had a medical card, so really,
It's not a drug. It's medicine. I don't even smoke. Y'all know that, but it ain't a drug.
um, because of this, um, I was diagnosed with PTSD, and not just the thinking about it. I actually had like visuals. I could be driving and like I'm going like I'm not even seeing the road. I'm just seeing what happened. I can go through places and it's all over again. I was a very visual PTSD person. I was diagnosed with suicide. I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, um, and a few other things. But hey, I thought I was bipolar, but the therapist told me, no, you're not bipolar. You're going back and forth from a lot of stuff that you've been. Due to this, I remember I would stand in the mirror in middle school and I would practice a mean face. I was always known for being very nice, generous. I call it yes man, pleaser. And so I would literally get in the mirror and practice how to look like my brother. Um, and I would just scrunch my face, like just so I can have that demeanor. It didn't really work. It works now a little bit, but it didn't really work. Um, and then I would force myself to like try to forget events that happened. When I started smoking marijuana, that helped with that part. Um, but I would try to force myself to forget events. My mind would play tricks and be like, okay, did that really happen? Like, did I really go through that? And then I remember, no, it's whole evidence, like you're tripping. But the power of the mind is crazy what it can do. The way you like, the way I think of the mind is you could be laying on the bed, and every part of your body can be okay, but if you're brain dead, what do you have left to offer?
Right.
Like your brain is so powerful. Um, because of this, it made me like sex but hate it at the same time. As I got older, I did like it more, and not from even multiple partners, just like
The frequency.
yes. I was watching PORN very often from a young age, like young, like how you're. I don't even know. I learned it from the kids in the neighborhood. So I was watching that very often every day. It was crazy. Um, yeah, it was really bad. I did like older men due to this. Nothing drastic. If I viewed you as my dad age, I wasn't going. But if you was like, 10 to 15 years, yes, I did like that. And I liked older men over younger guys. Um, and so I'm trying to stay on track, guys. I struggled in college due to this. Um, I also had, I also started to realize signs within other family members, not siblings, but other family members. And I started to realize signs, and all I did was show a picture of my dad to the person, and they broke down crying. Due to this, I did reopen the case when I was in college at 18, because her mother wasn't doing anything about it. She put it under the rug, and this is when I realized I had a good mom. I heard stories about it, but seeing it happen to my own family, and then I found out that her mom went through it with my father, and that pissed me off because why would you not say nothing? You was way older than us. Why didn't you? Why did you let your daughter keep coming over if you knew these things? Um, her mom didn't do anything, so I took it in my hands and I did something about it. And we added more time onto his sentence, which is why he's
Praise
very
him. Oh, praise
yeah.
him.
When I did see him, that's when I realized I wasn't fully healed. Um, it just opened a cold can of worms. What made me the most mad is he came to court with a cross on his neck, talking about how um he's now teaching young men about God, this, that, and the third. The judge didn't budge because it's like he was doing that same thing outside of prison. Um, so um,
I have somebody to say something if y'all don't.
She just said, "Do you have the book of Joyce Meyer's Battlefield of the Mind?"
so oh my goodness, my mom's been trying to get me to watch Joyce Myers since she found out this happened. Um, I wasn't able. No, I don't have it. I wasn't able to watch Joyce. I wasn't able to even talk to anybody. I didn't even want to talk about, especially Joyce Myers, because her story was so similar. So I couldn't.
Okay. This is from my sister who's a doctor. She said, I help people navigate through trauma all the time without the lived experience. Maybe you guys should bring me up occasionally since, oh, she's talking to me, I guess. Okay. Oh, my bad. My bad. My bad.
So,
Okay, sis, I will bring you up at the end.
would you so you said then you wouldn't want to talk to Joyce Meyer. First of all, are we the first people that you're talking to about this, like besides your therapist?
I went to a congregation one time, but this is the first time it's actually in full broad detail. I just went to a congregation, um, like the Greek something.
Okay. So what made you choose us to?
I've been praying. With this stacked on top of other things, I said there is no way. Or I'm only 22 and I've been through all that. I thought a testimony meant you go through one thing in life, and you good. Like you trust God, you good. I said somebody has to know. People have to know. Um, it was a lot, and I just feel like it needed to be heard. Yes, for me, also for somebody else, but I just feel like it was very important to get it out there.
Well, all praises to the Most High God.
Thank you for allowing God to choose us for you. We both went through the same thing. So, he's gonna always put you around I say like-minded people because we think the same. We love God just like you love God, and God is in everything that we do. And you came in here with she got the word with her. She's armored up. She got that still, okay?
The prayer shawl.
So she got that still. So, but that's how you know that God is working in you, and you're working through Him. If that makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna let you continue.
Okay.
Somebody said, I'm so sorry. Somebody said you're doing great. I know how hard this is for you.
Yes.
That
I'm shaking.
key. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey girl.
Yeah, she is over here shaking.
So college was a struggle from there. I was doing really great in college. My major is nursing. But once I found out about that, my world just went into pieces. I was in Ypsilanti, left Ypsilanti, came back to Michigan to take care of this business. One thing about me, I have a problem with putting a lot of people first and in front of other priorities, but it was just when I noticed certain things wasn't being handled properly, and I knew it. I knew if I had just this, and especially if you're my family and I know I can do something about it. Oh no, you getting some too.
I know that's
And
right.
she was partially raised by my mother, so that's my little sister. And it just wouldn't be right. It just wouldn't be right. If I just knew and didn't say nothing or at least try. Um, so
So you went to Michigan?
no, I wish.
Oh, I thought you was about to say state.
No,
Okay.
Go blue, go yellow. When I came back home, I did try to go to school, but that's when I fell under depression, even more because I was back at my hometown. Um, and I was dating a boy. He was very cool. He was around my age. He was awesome. But it was just a lot going on with what I was battling as well as spiritual warfare. Um and so I started doing drugs a lot. I did shrooms. Um I didn't do shrooms often. I'm not yeah, I just did it one time, but it was a bad trip because I was going through a lot. Um Smoked weed very heavily. Um it wasn't as heavy as it was later on in my testimony. It did get up to 2 ounces a week. It was very bad. Um, I would do weed over bills, but bills would get paid. They'll just get pushed off to a later date. Yeah, y'all know.
So how old are you right here? So you're in college.
Yes,
You're about
I'm
18. Oh,
18 years old. Um, that's when I stopped dating him. Once I got back home, I got to my own apartment. One thing I couldn't do was move back in with my mother. Due to this, my mother was married for like 27 years to this man. Um, she, I don't know, she wasn't healed, and I'm not gonna speak on her healing now because that's her story. But she wasn't healed, and so it was a lot of clashing. I fought my mom about 2 or 3 times. And physically, and it wasn't me putting my hands on her first. Yeah, it was a lot.
defending.
It was defending myself.
So, mom, if you're listening,
You be okay. Um, it was defending myself. Also, I just didn't like a lot of things that were being said because it just wasn't that. One example, I got told to throw out the trash. I do have a mouth on me, but it's not nothing like it can get disrespectful if it's there, but it's just a very direct mouth. Like I'm just very direct. Um, I was told to take out the trash. My brother was right upstairs. I said, "Your son can do it," but her friends were over. Her best friend at the time and her husband was over. Um, my mom didn't like my response. She said, tell you to do something, you do it. Okay, well, I wasn't allowed to go outside in my pajamas during the time for my whole life. My mom didn't play that. So I went upstairs. I put on some clothes. I had a little fake ponytail I clipped on my head, and we lived in townhomes at this time. So to me, representation
you had to be fine going outside to take that
I
trash
had to
out.
do something. But during this time, I was in 8th grade. I didn't like boys or girls or nothing. This was like literally my transitioning. I was going from 8th to 9th grade, and this is when everything was fresh. Um, so yeah, I went. I took out the trash, and she had said she had made a comment about me
um being fast, and that's where my mouth got choppy. I said, "Ain't nobody trying to be fast." Da, da, da. And that's when she got upset, put her hands on my throat, and that wasn't the first time she did that. Though she did it before in Chicago at a sister's trip. Um, so I told my sister when we was in Chicago, if mom do that again, next time I'm doing something. And I stood on my word and I did something. And we just got into it. Her best friend and them broke it up. My brother went crazy. Cops got called. I was out there. I ran away. It didn't last long. I came back home the same day because I didn't trust nobody. I didn't want to go to my godmom's house, my cousin house, nothing. I didn't want to go to my brother's house. I wasn't fond of being touched, hugged, or nothing by women, men, you name it. I went through a period where in ninth grade where I thought I was gay. I thought I liked girls. Then I got one. It lasted for a day. I was like, yeah, this ain't me. Like, it's this. You gotta be strong, like And so, yeah, it just wasn't the same. But anyways, back to when I was 18, transitioning. Um, so I had stopped going to school for a little bit. I was working more hours and everything like that. Once I turned around 19, that's when I decided to go back to school. Um, that's when I decided to go back to school. I had moved out of one of my apartments. I was paying like $1,000 for one bedroom, so school wasn't just on my mind during that time of being in that apartment because it was so much money.
My goodness, where was you living in East Lansing?
Yeah. Literally. Um, so during this time, um, now I'm enrolled back into school. I'm dealing with my child's father during this time. I had met him when I was at work. He worked for Garter World, which is a money company. And I don't know, he just caught my eye. It would always be like handsome men coming in and out working from that company. But him, like when we looked at each other, we just like, we both just, yeah, like we both was just smiling and everything.
Is he older than you?
Yes, he is 10 years older than me.
He's daddy.
He's 10 years older than me. And I remember I wrote a note. I'm so old school, y'all. I don't even use notes or nothing. I still write everything. Calendar. I got a calendar in my house. Like I'm still old school. I wrote a note to him like it was in high school, but it's because it was my day off, and I gave it to. I knew the days he came on was Wednesdays, so it was
I told my coworker get it, but that fine man come in here and give it to him.
okay.
That's what you told him.
By the way, this is a new topic. Now I'm about to go into grief about grief. So during this time, I had wrote a note, and I told my coworkers, I said, when he come, if he come this Wednesday, give it to him. Like, da, da, da. I put my social medias on there so he could see, like, check me out, make sure I'm not, nothing. And I put my phone number on there. He ended up texting me that same day. It was crazy.
He waited days. It was a crazy day.
Literally. And I was waiting that whole day. I remember because I went in there on Wednesday. He was like, "We gave it to him. We gave it to him." I said, "Okay, okay." So I was wait. And so he ended up texting me, and I was very upfront, like, "Hey, I'm 19," because I asked him how old was he, did he believe in God. I was very strict about certain things. Then I was like, "Well, I'm 19. Do you care?" He said, "No, that's cool, like whatever." So and he was from Grand Rapids. But I didn't care about long distance. I wasn't really fond of Lansing men, anyways. Only probably did one, maybe two. No, one. So that one.
Lady Kell said, "Come on, no."
Okay. And so we was chopping it up from the very beginning. I liked him because he took care of business and things like that. One of my biggest things I told God is I wanted to date somebody who already had children because of my past, and I want to see how they are with their children and how their children are, are with them. So he did tell me he had two kids. I didn't mind. I said, okay, I'd be a good stepmom. Like I'm good with that. Like I love kids. So yeah, I was buying stuff for Christmas, so they even didn't know who I was yet. Like they didn't see my face. Um, so it was cool. we have bought each other Christmas gifts that same year.
Hold on, wait. So when y'all get together,
I was 19.
what month? It's like you said for Christmas. So this was like in the summertime. You met him in the summertime.
Yeah, I believe it was the summer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No fall. Yeah. Yeah, it was quick. I think it was my second time um having sexual intercourse with him is when I had got pregnant. Um, I couldn't believe it. Like the first guy I was with, like we were crazy about each other. So when I had got pregnant, I remember I had a dream before I had got pregnant that I was going to have like 3 girls and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, like dreams be dreams sometimes. Um, then I had got pregnant. And I knew from the beginning I wasn't getting rid of her. I was praying, like praying for a baby. I literally told God, I remember this because I was going through with my case, and I told God, God, if you give me a baby, I will stay. Because I was about to try suicide again. Not again. I was really over all this. I told God, if you give me a baby, I will stay and I will give my life to you. And if you give me one, make sure I'm healed. So I got pregnant, and I remember the prayer I prayed. I was crying when I got pregnant and stuff though, because I really didn't expect it. And then with someone who lived out of town, um, he was telling me to abort the baby and not listen to anyone else. Um, but he had just lost his job because of racial discrimination and things like that. So I brushed it off and I told him like, if you ain't got this, I got it. It don't. But he was the type of dad who was gonna take care of theirs no matter what. Um, so he didn't let me go through it alone. I went through it financially alone because he ain't had a job. But it was cool though.
Because you loved him,
Because
he
I
was
loved
fine
him.
and all that.
Yes. It was times like I was even helping him pay his child support sometimes, this, that, and the third, but he always reciprocated. It's okay. When he got his job again, he was definitely sending me money and stuff. So he was always
She sound like me, don't she?
crazy. I was crazy. So but yeah, so
He wasn't crazy. He was in love, and that's
yeah,
what we do for people that we love.
yes. So one thing I didn't know because I kept asking to meet like his family and stuff like that. Towards like the middle, kind of almost towards the end, I finally like I kept asking. He didn't want to tell me. I said like, why haven't I still met your peoples, your mom, this and third? He was adopted because his parents passed away when he was young. So I was just asking like, why I haven't met anyone. That's when he told me that his some of his people, mainly his adopted brother, was calling him a pedophile. Um, which is why he didn't want to bring me around because he felt basically ashamed and everything. Um, After that, I was like, okay. I told him, I said, but there's a baby involved, so pedophile or not, they're gonna have to know. They're gonna have to see at some point. But I did let him take his time with that because, you know, I don't understand that point, but yeah. My people, they, they were just like, why you ain't choose somebody around your age? But they understood why I chose someone who was older. They weren't mad at it or nothing. Um, my brother was my dad, like my father. My brother was my everything. He was the one who first bought me Jordans. Like he did a lot of stuff. Took us to school, got our hair done, bought us clothes. Like that was my pops for real. So when I was looking for people, I was definitely looking for someone who was similar to him, but not someone who reminded me of him in that sense. Um,
And how old is your brother?
they're the same age,
From you.
10 years.
Oh, your man and your brother was the same age.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I know.
Growing up, I like him very well seasoned, baby.
Yeah,
Very well
that was
seasoned.
also the point too. A lot of older people, I have an old soul, and my mindset is very mature. I just didn't want to raise nobody. I didn't want to be no mama to no grown man.
You better say it again for the ones in the back.
So that was just yeah, the mindset, the old soul, all that. He told me I reminded him of his. I didn't know that was cool or not, but I let it be. Yeah, I let it be though. So But anyways, he ended up moving down here. I believe it was a few weeks, like 4 weeks before I had my baby girl. And I was gonna move to Grand Rapids in December of that year. I'm not gonna disclose the year or the month. Um, but I ended up moving. I was gonna move to what is it called? Grand Rapids in December. Um, the reason why all this got put on a pause is because I ended up meeting a lady that went to my mother's church. Well, she still attends there. That goes to my mother's church. Um, she came into my job that I was working at the time. I was working at Taco Bell. I was an assistant general manager, and I was in charge of hiring. You name it. Literally, I was basically a G. And so I remembered her face, and she was telling me what church she went to. And I looked out, so I hired her. Then when I hired her, I found out that she worked for the state. So I was wondering like why is she here? But I still never put anything together. And that's exactly where hindsight comes in because hindsight basically means that you don't clearly understand or see something till after everything happens. Um so she was telling me how she had a daughter who needed friends, better friends, da da. Woo. Um, I ended up texting her like, "Hey, like this is Lo from Taco Bell. You're telling me to text you, da da." Anyways, we set up a arrangement for me to come to her house, meet her daughter, da da. Think nothing of it. Um, I didn't think nothing of it, and at this time, church hurt was like behind me. Um, church hurt was behind me. It was still like I just wasn't used to it. I just used to my dad. I mean, we definitely had older saints who would say stuff out their neck and stuff, but to me, that's older saints. They're gonna do that. They think it's still dinosaur years, so they're gonna do the most. Um, literally. So, anyways, so I got to meet her daughter and everything. Her daughter was telling me how she had no friends, this, that, third. Um, we instantly started being cool with each other. During this time, my spiritual discernment was very low. I definitely had it, didn't listen to it. Definitely had it, didn't fully understand it. I was still hanging on to my mother's coattail, so everything I did or felt, I always went to her before going to God. My mom sometimes could be a little too nice and just say I'm overdoing it, overthinking, tripping. Yeah. So long story short, I was telling my mom how like she cool whatever, but I don't know, like she a little off, but she cool. My mom said, "Lord, it's okay. Like it's good to have friends like that. Like somebody like her." Long story short, once I got pregnant, I found out in February. I found out because I didn't know. My sister knew for some reason, and she told me to take a test because we were going to be in a apartment together, and she said we might need 3 bedrooms, but she was playing. But I knew something was a little off because when I was drinking stuff, um, when I was drinking everything, it was like weird. I got a good tolerance, but I want to throw up. But I didn't think nothing of it because I was on birth control. Um, that's how I also know like this is godly ordained, like my child. I was on birth control. Um, and so I didn't think nothing of it. Me missing a period was normal, like. And so I went and took a pregnancy test. It was a faint line, so I took another one. I took pictures. I used apps to see if they could see the line. Like I was tripping. I was calling people, seeing if they could see it over FaceTime to see if it was like me just tripping. Um,
And you had a baby in it.
yeah, I had a baby, a full blown baby. I was 9 weeks pregnant. Didn't even know it. Long story short, once I told this girl, she started crying. Um, to me, that was not normal because she was kind of like it was her. It was a different type of. It was weird in my way.
And this is the church lady's daughter.
She was crying how she always wanted a friend to be pregnant because she wanted her own baby, but her boyfriend didn't give her one. She lied. Her boyfriend didn't want to give her one, this, that, and the third. But she was just crying. So when I told my mom and stuff, he was like, she's just really happy for you, da da. I said, okay. Everything I just brushed off. Everything I thought was I just brushed off. And then if any of you ladies know, when you're pregnant, your discernment is more weird. Mm-hmm. Your discernment is like really like up there. Like being pregnant is not doesn't just happen. Like that's a creation of God. Like we are literally meant to like, yeah, it's crazy. So, long story short, as I get further along in my pregnancy, I lived on like the third floor of an apartment. So, they had a 3 bedroom house, and her brother was off the military, and they was telling me how I didn't have to stay at home to walk up those stairs. How I could use the third bedroom. They even rearranged the bedroom. She was telling me she's gonna buy a car seat. That's where she had me messed up. I said a car seat. I said I have a car seat. Most people just take the car seat that you already have. And I was telling her, she's like, no, it's gonna be my baby, and I like little garbage. But she's like, it's gonna be my baby. I didn't make her the godmom yet. But this is gonna be my little baby.
movie.
That's what everybody says.
Freddie like kind of filling in the blank.
That's what everybody says. It's gonna be my baby. So when she comes over, da da da. And I'm gonna get my car fixed. She had a car, but it did not work. A lot of stuff was just like,
Didn't make sense.
yeah, she's gonna get her own stroller. Da, da, da. So when I told my mom and my cousin, they said, okay. When I told my mom and my cousin, they were telling me that's good. I wish my
We should still be live.
okay. They were telling me that it's good to have a godmom like that. Most godmoms aren't like that these days. This and the third. I have a godbaby. I had one a year before my daughter. I didn't never bought her no car seat or nothing. If I did, I'm gifting it to the mom.
Right, I'm going to the mom. It's
Right.
not mine.
Your kid's always going back home with you.
Right.
Like I would buy her clothes and stuff and food and things like that, but I never did nothing dramatic like that. Long story short, once I told my mom about the room and stuff, that's when my mom, her nose went up. She's like, I have a room. I'm your mom. It's like she kind of looked at me. She's like, I'm your mom. I have a room. Like, you can come stay with me if anything. And she was like, stairs. She's like, stairs is good for you when you're pregnant. Like, what are they talking about? Da da da. And I was just telling her like how they were really excited and how the mom always wanted a grandbaby, like, and da da da.
Mhm.
So
So did your mom know this lady because they went to the same church?
she didn't know her until I met her and stuff.
Oh.
She's seen her and stuff, but her church is kind of big. Like everybody can know each other, but it's still kind of like family because word gets around. People get to know each other. Long story short, um, this girl, I had a best friend at the time. But my best friend and I weren't like super tight because she had an old man herself, and she was just always basically too busy when she got with me.
Like that sometimes because that's fatty.
Yeah. Her man was like 20 years older than her. So it pissed me off because like really choosing an old man over me, like we cool, whatever.
So it's okay to have a man 10 years older, but 20 is just too far.
That's too far.
I take granddaddy.
No, that's too far.
I will take granddaddy. You can't hear? Oh, okay, that's why. Hold on 1 second. Okay, can y'all hear now? Let me know if y'all can hear. Because my phone was just ringing. Can y'all hear? If you can hear, send a thumbs up. No, not on TikTok, pretty lady. On Facebook.
Not on this Facebook either.
Not yet on Angel Divine's Facebook.
You hear me?
Oh, my mic ain't even micing. Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear me? Can you like trying to talk sign language and don't even know sign? Oh, wait a minute. Can y'all hear us? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I know you can do this. I know you can do that. Right on here.
You can't hear her.
They can't hear me.
I'm talking about. She said it's hard to hear, but not you talking, Grandpa.
The Facebook is on Angel Divine. Thank you so much. I love you so much.
They still can't hear.
Y'all can't hear? Oh my God, today.
You want to restart it?
So I'm going to hang up and get right back on. They can't even hear me. Watch it.
Yeah, give us a second. We're in intermission right now.
Go ahead and get you something to drink. Light your bleezy again. Roll another one. Yes, it's me. So when you're not letting me in.
Don't like no bleezy, y'all. Say no to drugs.
That's not a drug.
Say no to drugs.
I say yes to weed, even though I'm not a weed smoker. Damn, I didn't mean to do that. Who I'm on Facebook. This is so good. Okay, let's go back in. We back in.
It's an echo. Okay, yo, listen. I'm gonna turn these lights down. I want you to let me know if it's still an echo, okay?
All right, y'all, we back for another. Oh, Lord, I need you on here too. Giselle, you're gonna have to get on here. Jade, sorry, I'm call you by your whatchamacallit name. I'm gonna sip my water. Oh, okay, here we go. We back. And we back on the ones and twos, y'all. Please forgive me. Somebody called the phone. And y'all know when people be calling you, they be messing up your speaker and stuff. Like they can't see that we live and stuff. This is getting juicy. Y'all having a funky good time. Y'all can cash us. Cash up. That's what God didn't let me say it right.
No, cash up. Cash up.
Y'all can cash app us.
Yo, is this still an echo?
I'm excited. Okay, y'all, we're back. I just want to say, just want to say thank you all just for this brief intermission really quick. I just want to say thank you guys for joining in with us and participating and asking questions. Y'all are asking amazing questions.
It's not too late to share.
The devil is a liar. Okay, my mic's still on. No, it ain't. Is my mic still? It's still on. Okay. Okay, y'all, we back. We back like we never even left. Okay, y'all. So again, thank you guys for coming on. Y'all know we still on this thing with Lady Low. Y'all thought we was done? Not yet. So did y'all get y'all drinky drink?
Y'all still can share. It's not
Y'all,
too late.
Y'all smoking y'all spiffs? I drink to that. This is ice cold water. Get you some. And as my cousin say, y'all drinking y'all water and minding our business. She said be minding y'all business, but y'all minding our business.
Okay. Where was I?
So you was at. So when did you have the baby? Because we ain't even had a baby yet.
I'm still pregnant.
Okay, so she's still pregnant. She got the crazy lady buying car seats and strollers and stuff. Sorry, the lady might not be crazy, but she got the crazy lady buying car seats and strollers and stuff for her baby, calling it her baby, but it's really her baby. And the mama said, "Girl, you can go up and down them stairs. I got a whole room for my daughter, and I got a whole house. This is my daughter. Go ahead."
Yes. Okay. So, anyways, long story short, so this girl, I told her a lot of stuff. I told her quite a lot of stuff. That was
your friend.
yeah. I thought she was my friend, like my real friend. And plus my ex best friend and I at the time weren't really talking like that. With that being said, so I told her a lot of stuff like, and this is when I learned like don't tell everybody everything, even what you're going through in your relationship. She knew about certain things like that, this, that, and the third. Um, so I remember, I forgot how far in my pregnancy I was, but I did at 20 weeks, probably like 21. I had to wait for the results. I had got a blood test done to see my child's gender, so I did a gender reveal. She came to that. My child's father didn't come to it, so she was like seeing things. I didn't know if she thought like my pregnancy was going to be lonesome and I wasn't going to have anyone, but kind of after the gender reveal stuff started like to get a little weird. Um, my gender reveal was amazing. I recorded everything. That's one thing about me. I document everything. I recorded the gender reveal. I even recorded my birth. Like I document a lot of stuff.
Was he at the birth?
Yes.
So hold on. Somebody said what happened with the real friend, the weird friend. So that's what we talking about right now. We about to get to the meat of the weird friend right now. So she's still pregnant. The weird friend was buying all the stuff, acting real funny. Crystal got
Yes.
some weird people. Yeah.
So now I'm about 8 months going into my 9 months. This is when I found out that she has a friend. And she was telling me how she wanted her friend and I to meet, da da da. And that's when I questioned her because she made it seem like it was normal. I said, "You got a friend?" I said, "You told me you didn't have friends." She's like, "Oh no, well we apologized to each other and we made up, da da da." I'm a little nosy. I asked what happened. She said, "Oh, it's nothing. We just had a disagreement, da da da." I didn't press her about it. I said, "Okay." And the girl will always come to my house. The fake friend, she would always come to my house at the time. Um, and my sister did live there. But towards the end of my pregnancy, my sister she moved out because that room was going to be my child's and my stepchildren. They're going to share that room. Um, so towards the end of my pregnancy, she started saying how she had this friend we can meet. Da, da, da. Met the friend. No, my concern was more off about the friend than it was about the
The weird
the
friend.
weird friend.
Mhm.
And so like stuff got weird. I did get invited to the girl's gender reveal, but through the fake friend. So I went with my fake friend, and something just told me to call my mama up. And I called my mom. My mom pulled up to the gender reveal, and during the gender reveal, it was a little weird. Nobody was helping, nobody was doing anything. Even her own peoples, her own child's fathers, they weren't doing anything. I'm 9 months pregnant now. I'm over here serving food
Oh wow.
for the counter.
And you
My
don't even know the
mom
girl.
don't
like
even
that.
know the girl like that. My mom, I met her like one or two times prior to this. My mom was helping. We were still We were like doing some of the I wouldn't say decorations, but like setting up certain things like that. I was even helping carrying heavy boxes to her car, like the gifts that she had and stuff like that. It was just stuff was off, and I was like trying to understand how your own people wasn't helping. Um, like during my gender reveal, I didn't get a lot of gifts, barely, but my people definitely showed up and showed out. And yeah, it was just weird. Long story short, the girl child's father, um, he was like smoking and doing all his own little thing at the gender reveal. Towards the end of the reveal, he ended up losing the car key. And then that's when stuff went up. Because she had a push to start. But he lost the car key and started blaming um the pregnant his baby mama and start going off or whatever. Um and then that's when he had said and y'all over there, I'm not gonna say the names, but he had said our name and cussing at us, but not at like talking about me while I'm right there, but you're not looking at me or nothing. And saying how we were talking about him and stuff. And that's when I said, I don't even know you. And I was cussing though. I said, I don't even know you. She was not talking to me. Like her
You
and
can say it. Say what you were saying.
I don't cuss no more.
Tell
I
me.
know.
I'm be like legend. Tell me I say it. Like I'm just.
So yeah,
That's
I
good.
was saying the F word, D word, you name it, S word, all that. That's when he kept saying like, "Where your baby daddy at?" And I got confused. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's shit about to hit the fan. Come on. So she
Yeah.
asked where your baby dad was at.
Yeah, he kept asking where my baby dad at, and I said, "You don't know my baby daddy." Da da. Woo, woo, woo. I did call him my baby daddy though.
Oh.
My baby daddy was our way.
Oh, I thought so. See, is it good, but no, okay. So I thought, okay, because I'm still in a Lifetime movie, so I thought he was asking about your baby dad because he knew something that you didn't. But go ahead.
No, I think he did know something I didn't know. The girl who's supposed to be my friend apparently was talking about me and my situation to her pregnant friend, and of course her pregnant friend is telling her baby daddy. Because
Pillow
the
talk.
way he was saying, yeah, pillow talking, and the way he's saying stuff is like he knew me. Like your baby daddy not gonna come down. Like, how do you know? Like, what are you talking? Like, how do you know stuff? But I never fed into my baby daddy wasn't coming. Like, I stood my own ground. Like, I was cussing at him and stuff. That's when he got crazy and stuff as well. Tried to like put his hands on me. He was balling his fist up. My mom and everybody got in between. I was just doing a lot of cussing and stuff. I wasn't.
That's why I keep that blicky with me.
Yeah, and so my mom, she had got in between and she took him out and ministered this woman. like walking up and down the sidewalk, ministering to him, da da da. He got calm or whatever. Then when he came back towards the car, or whatever, she's now his girlfriend crying and stuff like that about the key and telling me how she's sorry, da da da. And I told her it's fine. I told her it's fine.
That's
No,
him too.
I know. I told her it's fine or whatever. But after all that had happened, I told her like, I don't want to commingle with all three of us. It could just be me and the weird friend, and then the weird friend, and the pregnant girl. Y'all can be cool. I don't want to commingle. I don't want to do none of that. So, um, the pregnant girl didn't take that too well, and I told her, I said, you could still get the gifts that I got for your gender reveal, but that's where I'm leaving it.
Mm-hmm.
She got mad, told me she don't want no gifts, that's fake, da 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 da. And I told her, I said, that's not fake. I said, your baby daddy just like try to put his hands on me. On top of that, y'all talking about. I'm not slow. Like, I'm really not. How did he know that my baby daddy not finna come? Like, it was just certain things that were being said and how they were being said that just raised red flags. Then that's when I start questioning the weird friend. Like, you talking about me and stuff like that, da da da. And I know she talking about me because she was telling me stuff about the other girl. So
that's why I tell everybody,
yeah,
if they talking about them to you, they
they
talking about you to them.
Yes. And I wasn't one to have many friends growing up by choice. I just stayed to myself. I definitely was very involved in church. During this time, my period of life, I did love God. I just didn't love the people of God. I didn't trust a lot of church people, whatever. But I did instill my trust in her and her mother, and mainly because her mom. Like, when I don't know, something like, I don't know, when your parents speak a little highly of you, I'm starting to see now pedestals are a thing. But yes. Long story short, it was about
said
2
that
weeks.
50 times.
Look, long story short, oh yeah.
Well, she come back
I'm a
and
preacher.
go, yeah.
So 2 weeks before I had my child, this is when the weird friend, everything got chaotic. She told me her mom kicked her out. She put us in a group chat, and me and the other girl, even though we're not cool, me and the other girl and her, we were all in the group chat. She was telling me how she got kicked out, and I'm just consoling her, like, oh, that's like what you do. She said she took her mom's car and went to Jackson. Like, be for real. Like, she took her mama car and went to Jackson so she could see her siblings, this, that, and the third. So her mom kicked her out. She sent a video of her mom folding her clothes and stuff. And I didn't put none of this together until after the fact. My mom was like, if her mom kicking her out, why she folding her clothes? I didn't realize. I never got kicked out, so I didn't peep that.
But she must really love you. She gonna kick you out.
Yeah,
Fold your clothes and pack it for you.
yes. Like she was taking them out the thing, and they were like neatly folded, but like yeah. And so long story short, sorry, I'm gonna stop saying that.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Um, so she told me she got kicked out. I never offered up my room, my place, until the pregnant friend decided to be in my business and say that I had an extra room. And that's when I told her, I said, well, I have to ask my child's father because that room is not for somebody who got kicked out. It's for my children. And
You heard what she said.
so
I would have left it like that.
That's it.
Don't ask him, but go ahead.
so
Sorry.
no, you're fine. Everybody was saying that. Long story short, she was like, "So, well, you said, I said that was before I got pregnant. When I was saying like, I had an extra room that like, we could roommate stuff. I said that was before I got pregnant. I said you already knew that room was for my children. And I called my child's father. I texted him actually, and he had told me if that's your friend, if that's truly your friend, and you're gonna look out for her. And that was the worst advice I ever took from him. Um, I allowed her to come in. I never helped her move in. The pregnant girl helped her, and she did it. And I think her boyfriend helped her as well. I'm talking about same day, her bed, everything. You knit her dog, all that, like everything.
Not the dog. So you gonna change your mind?
Like yeah, it was crazy. And it was times like literally, my stepchildren was literally sleeping on the blow up bed in the living room, and my baby daddy just didn't like. He's so nice, like he just didn't mind. I was irritated because one, I'm about to have my baby. Two, I'm irritated because I have at this point in my life I have a doula. I was supposed to have my baby in the living room. Nah, I can't do none of that. So it was just a lot. Long story short, it kind of started to bump heads because her dog, um, her dog was mad loud. I have a cat, if that goes to explain stuff. Her dog was always loud, crying. I was in an apartment. Her dog always chewed a lot of stuff, so I didn't let her keep her dog out. Um, her dog even like chewed up the carpet, trying to dig a hole, literally trying to dig a hole to get out the room at the front of the door. Um, long story short, I was trying not to say it. It still came out. Long story short, so my child's father is there, whatever. She started to get weird. After I had my baby. But I'm gonna get to where I had my baby. So I didn't even know I was in labor. I didn't even know I was in labor. I was having like the signs and stuff like that. So my child's father and I documented all this too. Like we went to the hospital. I got my cervix checked. Da da da. Next thing you know, a few hours later, I'm going into labor. Because they sent me home. I was like, I think they said I was like 1 centimeter dilated. Yeah. Yes. Um, they sent me home. Um, and so all throughout the middle of the night, like I'm hurting. I'm still able to sleep though, but I keep waking up. Like I didn't know. I thought like pregnancy was supposed to be really bad, but I have a really high pain tolerance. Um, then I started texting my doula, and she said, "Girl, you're going into labor. I'm on my way there now." My doula is from Grand Rapids. Like I was really serious about going to Grand Rapids. So my doula is from Grand Rapids. So she drove an hour, stayed in a hotel. That's when my child's father ended up taking me to my mother's home because I didn't want my doula at my house because it's no room for her. So we went to my mama house. And I'm doing like exercise and stuff. The contractions is getting a little bit worse. She kept asking me if I'm ready to go to the hospital. I said no every time. I was forced to go to the hospital because I just felt like it wasn't enough pain for me to go to the hospital, and I already went the first time. I was just sick of that. Long story. Okay. So sorry, y'all. I'm trying to be serious. So, the girl, at this point, she is my child's godmom because I asked her at the gender reveal. She was crying when I asked her too. It was just a lot. She was so dramatic. But I asked her, so at this point, she is my child's godmom. Um, and her and my child's father went back to the house, to the apartment together to go get some things, and he had to take a shower. And he had left his car in Grand Rapids, so they were just using my car. So yeah, I let them go home or whatever. So now it's at the point where my doula, because I wanted to wait on my child's father. I said, I don't want to go yet. Can we wait on him? Wait on him. Wait on him. She said, no. She's like, this is nothing to play with. We're going now. So they drove me to the hospital. I'm on the phone crying, not because of pain, but because
you better get your butt.
yeah, literally. So I'm on the phone crying, because I was just like, what's going on? He was like, you on your way to the hospital? I said, yes. It's okay. I'm like, it's okay. I'm gonna hurry up. Da 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 da. Get to the hospital. Um, now I'm crying. Now the contractions, it just went bad. I start crying. Um, it's okay.
Let's get it over.
You go ahead. Okay. So my contractions are getting worse. They do a service check. I'm 6.5 meters dilated. So I call him and I didn't know I was getting admitted. Once they said they're getting a room for me, I said, I'm staying. They said, yeah. I said, and I told my dude, like, I wanted to have the baby at the house. And she said, no. She said, something is telling me we need to be at the hospital. And that was nothing but God. So we get to so I'm calling him and now they rushing because I'm telling him, like, I'm in a room now. He's like, you about to have a baby? I was like, "Bro, that's not how it works. And like, you already had 2 kids, you know this. And so anyways, we get in there. I recorded the whole entire birth. Um the girl was she was it was a little weird. The doula had to tell her multiple times, like when I was getting my back rubbed and stuff like that, the doula had to tell her multiple times to move out the way and allow my baby daddy to.
Right. She
Um,
was trying to take his spot.
yeah, that's basically what it seemed like. She was doing everything, like the back rubs and massages, everything, and So she was telling her to get out the way, and my mom didn't play. So my mom kept getting upset with her. Your phone is charging. That's right.
See, I say judge your mama, not me, but I ain't talking about your mama.
So my mom kept getting upset because every time my mom said something to her, she like rolled her eyes or something like that. And my mom has this saying um I'm not your mama. And when she says that, that means don't get too comfortable and don't be too lenient with yourself because she not finna
Play with somebody else.
play with somebody
Because
else's
I ain't
child.
your mom.
She's not your mom. And that's because most parents, if y'all don't have kids, most parents allow their kids to get away with more stuff. No, my mom don't play that. Even with her own. She still loves to get a little far, but not with her own either. I was in a bathtub. I was in a bathtub when I was at McLaren. The girl even came in there with the camera. My cousin and my mom was telling her, get out the bathroom, like that's their alone time, da da da. They came and closed the door. So me and him could just be in there because like the girl, she was like, well, she wanted her process recorded, da da. They was like, yeah, but you don't have to stand there the whole time. You could just like, show that she
Like
in there.
snippets.
Then yeah. And so the girl had attitude the whole time, my mom. And I had 5 people in my room when I gave birth. I had the doula, my mother, my cousin, my sister, and my brother. And yes, I can't believe either they allowed everybody to be there. But God had a purpose for that. Um, I guess he needed witnesses during this time of my birth. Um, the girl just started. She was just doing too much, a bit controlling. And so I remember like I didn't want to have my baby laying down. Because I was having her, I had her with no epidural. And I told them, don't bring me that paper back. I said, I don't care if I ask for it. I said, but don't bring me that paper back. I didn't end up asking for it. My birth was very dramatic. It was a little bit traumatic, but it was everywhere. I was throwing up. I was throwing up. My baby ended up losing her heartbeat. So when I had her, it was a lot because pushing out a baby who's not alive takes a lot of work. Um,
Take that one. Take that one. Mine. Let's keep on going.
so okay, sorry. So yes, pushing out a baby who's still, it takes a lot of work because you don't have the help. So I didn't realize my baby was coming out like not alive because I was so focused on pain. Um during this time, even in the video, I remember I was trying to squat, and that's when they told me to lay down because they knew that the heart had went away. I didn't, and I was squatting and stuff like that. And I remember I got on the bed, and out of nowhere, I just started screaming, like roaring, like a lion, like. And I'm not even playing; it's on video. Like it's like loud. And my doula told me after the birth, she was like, "I was wondering, are you and the other girl okay?" I said, "Why?" She's like, "Because we did that, you look brighter." I said, I didn't even know. Like, I didn't even know. I didn't know what I did. And she was like, so it seemed like it was like a generational thing. Yeah, that's what she said. She said it seemed like you were like trying to break generational curses and things like that. But I'm pushing all this
gave me
aside.
chill.
Yeah, I'm pushing all this over because I'm like, what are you talking about? Um, and she's like, but you would like look directly at her. I said, man, I don't even remember seeing anything. Like, I remember screaming a little bit, but I didn't remember that until they brought it up. Um, and then and I remember this because the doctors they all rushed into the room. I was so loud that everybody heard me on the floor. And they rushed into the room thinking that something bad had happened. That's when they told me to lay down and everything. I laid down, um, started about to push. They was telling him to hold my legs. This girl come in holding my legs. They kept telling her, get out the way, get out the way. Um, and then my cousin said, aren't you supposed to be recording? Like, like it was just crazy. The energy was all over the place. She was yes, she was too involved. And then my mom my mom was getting mad at me because I got mad at my mom, but I was going in late. But like, come on, be for real. I told her because she's like, I'm gonna just leave then. I said, okay, you can go. Like that's why I don't have time for that. You can go. And that's when she got in her feelings like what else I'm supposed to say? No, please stay. Like, girl, I'm trying to have a baby right now. And so so it was just emotions was high, emotions were a lot. Um they kept trying to put the blanket on me because my brother was in the room. I said, well, he can leave then. I said, this is my birth, like this is my labor. Um so and then he was like, no, it's okay, because he didn't get to experience his children being birthed because um COVID, and they only allowed one person. And then the other one was a C-section, and they still only allowed one person. And each time they chose their parent besides the dad. So during this time, it was just a lot. Um, I ended up having baby girl. It was a lot to push her out. I remember them saying vacuum, and once they said that, I pushed. That was the last time I had pushed, and she came out. Yeah, it had scared me. When she came out, my umbilical cord was really short, and she was wrapped. The umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck twice, and when they unwrapped it, she still only was able to reach up to my belly button. She couldn't even lay on my chest because the umbilical cord was so short. Um, they took her immediately. Um, and well, they put her like on me, but then they started like hitting her, but she still wasn't responding. My mom is praying, like she's a prayer warrior, intercessor. If you know my mom, you probably been delivered. Like my mom was going in at it. My daughter opened her eyes and looked right at my mom, turned her head. First person she saw was my mother. Um, and then the girl started crying. Oh, she's looking. No, no, no. She was just, when I watched the video, it pissed me off. And I was like, I wish she was never there because it ruined the whole experience every time I try to watch it. Um, but it was a blessing. It was amazing. Being able to see how God literally breathes his air into something and it comes alive. Like, I was praying. Like I was praying. It wasn't that deep or whatever because I was still focused on the pain, but it was just amazing how it happened. They ended up taking baby girl, my child's father, cousins, and then went over there. My mom and the doula stayed over there, and the girl, she stayed over there with me to just check in on me and stuff like that. Um, then it was time for everybody to go home.
Sister girl wasn't going nowhere.
How do you know?
Cause weird.
Literally, my mom forced her. My mom literally told her, "No, you're going." My mom drove her to the apartment. My mom said, "No, like you're not staying." She said, "That's intimate. That's between them." Da da da. She's like, well, "I was supposed to stay." Da, da. This girl packed her some clothes and everything. I didn't even know it. And my mom was not going. And thank God for my mom. My mom was not going. Yes.
Kiana said, "Do you have any videos without?"
As far as birth, yes, but it was like me, my child's father, like we were holding a baby, saying like giving a message to Dash, before she like while she was born, whatever. So we have that video, but as far as like the delivery video, she was all up in there, like literally.
She wanted to be in that thing.
Yeah, she wanted to be in there from day one.
Yeah, she was all in the video.
You the mic. You want from the mic? Sorry.
Y'all can still see me. I'm still here, y'all.
Yeah, we can see you on all the other ones.
Except so anyways, long story short,
I ain't even in my face.
the girl didn't even have the key to the house. She climbed up. Mind you, I'm on the third floor. She climbed up through the balcony. It was weird. It was, to me, I didn't see how it happened, but I was visualizing something demonic being able to crawl into a building. Like, I don't know. But she climbed all the way up to the, and I was asking her how it happened. She's like, girl, it took a while. But I was like, how? I still didn't understand how.
It ain't even the how, but why?
Yeah, she didn't have the key.
You didn't give her a key?
No, but she did that on purpose because my mom
She wanted to
told me.
stay.
My mom told me when I got to the house, she told me she don't have a key. My mom said you'll figure out a way.
Love your mom.
Yeah, my mom told her she'd figure out a way.
See you later, bye.
And my mom said when they was in the car, like she was trying to get smart with her, my mom just kept putting her foot down. The girl even texted me and told me, like, how she just didn't appreciate da 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 da. You're grown. Take that up with my mom. You should never been disrespectful in the first place. Like it was just some of the things she was doing was just too much. Yeah. And a lot of times I agree with some other people, like how my mom can like do a little too much, but for this situation,
was needed.
yeah, and this was an intimate and depressive situation was happening. Just it was giving what narcissistic or something like that.
Psychotic.
It was giving us obsessed.
Very
Yeah.
much obsessed.
So long story short, the okay, I came back home. They was trying to kick me out the same day. I told them no.
Kicked you at the hospital.
Yes, because nothing was wrong with me. I just lost a lot of blood, but that was normal to them. But no, it wasn't. I stood up and fell down. Like I told them, I'm staying in this hospital. My insurance is good, and so I stayed a little bit on, and I also stayed because um I still needed to sign her birth certificate. Like, I didn't do nothing. And I said, I'm not mature enough to go and get her birth. I didn't know nothing about that. Go and get her birth certificate myself. I didn't know how
Yeah, they do all that
worked.
in the hospital. They
Yeah.
ain't clearing. They was kicking you out.
They was
sick of weirdos.
They was trying to always cover. They like we need a
yeah,
break.
it was arguing.
Then you was in there roaring it like a lion in
But they were so nice.
But you know that the Lions is I'm trying to say this like I'm sorry. You know that the Lions is like supposed to be closest to like God's people, like that's what they prepare us to.
I didn't know that.
So being run as a lion is actually a good thing. Like
I didn't know that.
Okay, then, girl.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, so we can stay on topic. Long story short, oh yes, I was enrolled in college during this time, but I called them and told them that I would have to drop out because I'm having a baby. They told me that that's not eligible reason because you can choose to keep your child or not, and so it did go against my stuff. So I just let it be. Like,
What was that?
LCC.
I know the devil is alive. You see, I'm about to disenroll.
Unenroll. It was disenroll. Yes, it was LCC. It did hurt me a lot. It made me feel like, that's when I started to realize like a lot of like you choose like being a mom is really important. Your life goes on pause. Some things you never accomplish. Some things like you literally put a whole being before you. And I don't regret none of it. But at the time it did make me feel like a failure because like dang, I can't even do what I gotta do for my baby. I can't even do this, that, and the third, da da da. In the midst of it all though, I was grateful because I still didn't understand like God, how did I get a child when I was told otherwise. And then I was on birth control. Then she came out dead. My God. And then it's with a guy I just basically met when I already was with somebody way before him, not at the same time. When I was already because people be trying to troll.
I'm gonna clear that up.
Okay. When I was already with somebody, and so it was just a lot for me. So long story short, I go back home. Now I'm ready to smoke. I'm ready to drink. I'm tell you, I had Seagrams. Um, yeah, I had Seagrams. I already had them in the refrigerator cooling because I was planning like I was getting everything together.
The wine,
yes,
Jamaican me happy.
Yeah,
that was my drink, girl.
And so, I like the peach one and the blue one too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Navel.
I opened up like two of them, sipping on like I was just ready. My child's father and the girl had went um to homegrown to get some marijuana because we weren't 21 yet, and so he was our go-to, and she was giving it to me as a push present, so he took her. Anyways, got home, we had rolled up or whatever. Everything was different, like, and mind you, I'm breastfeeding. But
give the baby half.
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
You hungry?
Yeah, I don't believe in that.
I don't believe in what?
I feel like
you don't think that the baby can get that from your breast milk.
Get high? No.
You think that the baby can get drunk through your breast?
Yes, but I didn't pump that time.
I never pumped and dumped.
No,
my baby that's probably why Legend the way he is. My baby was high or drunk. I mean,
no, I did pump and dump, but I didn't drink like that because it was just I was breastfeeding, and on top of that, that was the only time I had drunk because it wasn't the same. I couldn't do it no more. Like I was just, it was weird. I don't know. If y'all get it, yeah, it didn't taste. If y'all get it, y'all get it. It was weird, so I didn't do it no more. But smoking, I was doing, and I they laugh. Smoking, I was doing, But I did not pump and dump with smoking because the way I viewed the body and I was doing research, like your body is able to cleanse certain things like that. But I believe that God just had her. Like I didn't think too much of it.
Right.
Plus, I was a double producer. I was pumping when I was pregnant. So after I had her, the doctors told me I needed to slow down because my body thought I had twins. I was pumping 10 ounces in 15 minutes. It hurt really bad. It was terrible. I would be at work and I couldn't even do 30 minutes of working.
That's how much
That's
how my milk was.
It was bad.
I had to buy a whole nother deep freezer for how much milk
My freezer was getting packed. It was overdoing. I loved it though, like the connection and experience. It was amazing. So anyways, then the next week had came. 3 weeks after 3 weeks of having her. Sorry, 3 weeks of having her. I was ready to get back into work. Because now at this time I was a GM of Wendy's, and I made my child's father a stay-at-home dad. Because I didn't care. I was not letting nothing stop me. I wanted my own money. Um, and two, he was great at being a dad. I was scared. I didn't bathe her. I didn't change her diaper. Every time I tried, she would cry. So I felt like I was doing everything wrong and I didn't know I was doing. Every time he did something, she was cool with it. So yeah. So we came up to the agreement that I worked, he stay home. And I was making good money and the store wasn't open like mad hours. I was still getting the full time pay and stuff. So I was cool with it. Um while I was pregnant, I was working 3 jobs, honestly. So it was nothing to me to go ahead and do this not pregnant. Yeah, it was like, and I had my baby early due to this. Guess what, y'all? I had my baby on my dad's birthday. I forgot to mention that. I had my baby on my dad's birthday, and that's how I knew it was all godly design. It did hurt me to have her on her birthday only because when her birthdays came around, certain family members didn't come because of the remembrance of him and stuff like that. I viewed it as God promise. Yes, yep, that's literally how I viewed it, and I viewed it as His promise to me. Like this is literally the promise I made to Him, and He gave it back to me.
That's what's up.
And so,
even despite that what your dad did,
right,
you couldn't have a baby.
yes, literally.
Yeah.
And I even went to therapy and stuff when I was pregnant with her. I got healed before I had my baby completely. Like I did not play. Like I was in there until everything was green. Till I had no PTSD, no nothing. I was in there front and back. The therapist I went to, I was her first client, and I was her first client and have a baby. I was her first everything. Like that was my girl down to the bone. I loved her. Um, she stayed there with me through it all. And it was all I did it virtually, you know. Some days I skipped, some days I couldn't do it, but I got through it, and I really got through it for Dash because my mom's and I relationship was, and I said, oh, my children, we're not going to be like that. We're going to be together. We're going to be happy. I don't want my unhealedness to affect her in any type of way. I don't want my unhealedness to push her off. I don't want anything to happen. Long story short, so back to my daughter being a daddy's girl. Yeah, he always had her. She loved sleeping with him. She always slept on his chest. Um, all that. So the day I go back to work, I was running late to work.
He said, "Isn't that what what her name mean? What does your baby name mean?"
Her name is Kadash. Um, it's Hebrew, and I'm gonna pull it up so that way I say it accurately. Um, Her name is Kadash Promise Morrow. And it took me almost to the end to come up with this name. I got her name when I was at church, a church. Forgot the name of the church. When I was at a church, this was literally the title of the message. Um, and then Promise, you'll see why. And then Morrow is her dad's last name. So Kadash means this name for God comes from the Hebrew word Kadash, meaning one of a kind, utterly unique, set apart, and holy. Promise meaning God's promise from Him to me, and then Morrow meaning the future.
That's what's up. She got a powerful name from front to the back.
From front to the back.
Somebody said, amazing motherly instincts, grateful prosperity.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, girl.
But I told God to give me a boy. And I said,
him what to
I
do.
sure did. I told him, if you give me a girl, that's why I'm still naming her this. But I didn't know it was still gonna have so much meaning
So
to it
good.
until I
So
did
you thought
everything.
that you didn't want to do what he wants you to do. He wanted
Yeah.
you to name her that anyway.
I said, don't ever give me a girl because I don't have time to deal with what I went through. But he told me, literally before I had her, a year before I got pregnant, that I broke. I already broke
Broke that
generational curse.
generational curse.
Oh,
That was a
praise God.
bondage.
Mhm.
So like we spoke
Mhm.
about curses.
Mhm.
Like curses is things that we really can't get rid of. So those generational bondages and attachments, those are all choices.
Yeah.
So either we can continue to live in that, or we can choose to heal from that and not do those things or not attach those things to us or our children.
Right. And the way I view it too, because just because if you break a generational curse don't mean you broke it for the whole family. You broke it for yours, literally yours, like your child. And I rebuke in the name of Jesus, but that don't even mean that you broke it for your children's children, but you broke that cycle for your child. But I always speak it for to millions of years if the world is still here. So yeah, so that was very important to me. Long story short, so the day I go back to work, I got approved to go back 3 weeks. I tried to go back the second week, but they said no. They said like by law they wasn't gonna approve that. So they allowed 3 weeks. They was skeptical with that. And I had to get a doctor's note still. My doctor didn't approve me for 2 weeks. She said, even though you're fine, you need to heal a little bit. So she approved me for 3 weeks. Same day I go back, I get a knock at the apartment door. Mind you, at the time, my child's godmom was living there. I was there, my child's father, my child, and then my two stepchildren. We were all there. It's a knock at the door. Um, I didn't answer it because it's not for me. Like I just know nobody's coming for me. I get a knock again. I go answer the door. When I open the door, it's the pregnant girl and her child's father. They walk right past me.
Not in my house, you went.
I said something. I said, hello. And they just kept going. And they went right to the girl's room. Which means have y'all been here before? Like, I know the pregnant one has been there, but you haven't been there when this girl moved in. Oh, no, she helped her move her stuff in. Okay. So anyway, sorry y'all. Anyways, they went straight to her room. Like they didn't talk to me, nothing, barely even looked at me. Um, that's when I go and text the girl, and yes, I keep all my receipts, but I can't show y'all. But yeah, I keep everything. I went and texted the girl and I said, why are they here? I don't want him here. She can stay because she's pregnant. I said, but I don't. I'm just too nice. I said, but I don't want him here.
Matter of fact, I don't want none of y'all here. See you later. Bye.
Yes. So my child's father, he went and knocked on the door and asked him to leave. He's just like me. He's big, a big curly bear. He over 300 some pounds, but you never like. He's like just a teddy bear. Like he's so nice. Um, Anyways, I had a camera in my bedroom. And then no, I had a camera in my bedroom. And then it's also a Ring camera, but not mine. It was the neighbor's, but it pointed directly over. Long story short, he went and asked them. The guy was chill. He said, "Yeah, like they got an Uber coming, da da da." And they got an Uber coming, but her car is parked outside. No, for real. So
Somebody said, "Oh hell to the no."
So I'm peeping stuff. So I call my mom. And my mom gets to praying.
Let's go, evangelist.
Like, praying is cool, bro. But like at that time, I was like, girl, I need advice. Talk like she gets to praying.
Real demons.
Yes.
She had to get them demons up out of there.
She started praying. So, anyways, long story short, they end up leaving or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go back. But I was late to work. I was already supposed to be at work at like 12. I didn't make it to like 1. Like this pushed me back an hour or something. Work was okay with it as long as I was still coming in. That's when I went down. So I told the girl, I texted her, told her like, I don't want her here no more. I said, you disrespected me because and she was telling me, well, if she pay rent here, that she can have whoever. I said, no, that's not how it go. Because just like when my sister was living here, It's my name on that
You
lease.
better say it.
Let's get it right. I'm allowing you to be in my space. It's my name on that lease. And if I don't agree with certain things, I'm not even being picky. I'm being reasonable. So if I don't agree with certain things, you have to abide by that or you have to go. I'm your landlord at this point. I'm literally your landlord and I can evict you. So I was telling her, she's like, well, I already paid my rent, da da da. Me and the girl, we plan on moving together December 1st. So they already had a little plan. I said, cool. I said, well, you go back to your mama house. Apologize, do whatever you gotta do. You go back to your mama house. We're not having that. I was gonna go ahead and put her stuff out on the lawn and stuff like that, but I had to go. I had to go to work. Um, and mind you, the same day my child's father, he told me that he still wanted to work, but nothing serious. He wanted to, I think it was like a hotel or something. He had an interview. It's an interview, not even the job. He just had an interview. Whatever to make him feel better. Like he wanted to feel like he was being a man, which he was. He was being a good dad. So yeah, he had an interview at 5 p.m. that day. But since I made it to work late, um, I wasn't able to come back on time all the way. Long story short, I'm at work. I start texting the girl's mom, telling her, like, about your daughter, like, because your daughter can go. Can you take her back? Da da. She told me, she said, I never kicked her out. She told me she was moving in with you, da da da, because she wanted to start practicing how to pay her own bills, this, that, and the third. Tell me why. So we call each other because like this texting ain't working out. I ain't understanding. We call each other. Da da da. And I'm telling her what happened with her friend. Da da da. She's like, that's the friend. I don't like. I don't like her. Da da da. She be doing a lot of stuff, but she's still not even being fully yeah, truthful and transparent with what are you talking about? Like what's going on? Like y'all they're hiding something. Still to this day, I don't know how they feel out. But her mom didn't even like her. And she was telling me like, okay, that by the end of that day, which was a Monday, by the end of that day that they will have the stepdad, the mom, and the girl's boyfriend, the weird girl's boyfriend, would all come over there and move all her stuff out. Well, now I'm at work. Um, I didn't leave on time because the manager coming in was running late. Mind you, God has everything happen for a reason. He was running late. My child's father texted me, and we was texting a lot. Like I don't know why we was texting, but we just text about everything. We talked on the phone too, but
Trinity said she tried to play you like you wouldn't find out.
yep. Watch, get to this. Get to this. Um, because when a lot of this stuff went down, you'll see. Get to that. But so my child's father texted me and said the girl's here. Um, because I went to the office before I left and got the locks changed. And he told me that the girl is here. She said she's moving her stuff out. I said, okay. I said, you could let her in. It should be her boyfriend, and her mom. And I said, her stepdad might not come until a little bit later because the mom said he's at work. And then he said, yes, her and her boyfriend. He said, but it's the other girl here. I said, the pregnant one? He said, yeah. I said, um, I said, did you let like what's going on? You let her in? He said, yeah, but she in there helping her get her stuff out. I said, okay. I said, wait till I get there. I'm beating the girl A word, but not the other one because she's pregnant though. That's literally how I said it. Um, and so then he texted me and he told me how he said her boyfriend is back, the pregnant girl. He said her boyfriend is back, but I said he in my house, and then he said no. He said no. He's outside. He's outside. He said he left, and he texted me again. He said now he came back and a burgundy truck just dropped him off. And my child's father, he knows the street life, like he's been in it, and so he knew the signs that I didn't know. And he told me, he said something weird is going on. He said, can you call somebody to come over here or something like that? I said, hold on, I'm not thinking nothing of it. I called my sister and my ex girl best friend. My ex girl best friend lived right next door during the time. She never went into the house. Because I told her to wait till I get there. We gonna jump this girl together. So I told her to wait till I get there. My sister, she was allowed in already because she already lived there. That's my sister. I didn't care. So but watch how everything went down. Long story short, um, long story short, the manager finally gets to work and I text him. I said, I'm on my way. Like we texted, I text and drive. So I text him like I'm on my way. He's like, okay. I said, what you doing? He said, nothing, making the kids food and about to roll up. I said, okay. The last text I sent him and said, um, okay, what's going on? Never heard nothing from him. I called my best friend as I'm driving down the road. I called my best friend, and she's sitting outside the apartment waiting for me. Mind you, it is two ways to the apartment, a back way and a front way to get in and out. My sister didn't know I called my best friend. My sister and her best friend is just parked on the other way, and my best friend is parked on the front way.
So
And
both ways covered.
both ways covered, but
This
they
is
didn't know.
juicy.
But they didn't know
This
each
is
other was
juicy.
there. They didn't know each other was there. So my girl that's friend, we on the phone, just talking normal, like just
But you don't know
regularly
nothing
talk.
going
I don't know
on.
nothing's going on. She don't know nothing's going on, but she told me she said it's a U-Haul here. She said it's a U-Haul, and I said yeah, they supposed to be there. They moving her stuff. I don't care. They need to be there. Da da da. She said no, it's a lot of people in there. I said a lot of people. I said what you mean? She's like, it's like 7 or 8 people. I said, what?
Girl, you gotta hurry up and get
I
home.
said, it's only a one bedroom. I said, I'm still not thinking nothing. I said, it's only a one
Not that you
bedroom.
throw your stuff out.
No.
They trying to commit a crime.
I said, it's only one bed. She only got a bed, a dog, da 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 da. Like, it's not that much stuff. So she's like, okay, like, so we still just chopping up regular. Few minutes go by. She goes to say, mind you, I didn't leave work until late. Like, I left work late. Like stuff went down at 5 o'clock, and he was supposed to be at his interview at 5. I left work a little bit late because the manager was late. So I'm driving, and she said, it's two guys going upstairs." She told me how the two girls had left and went to the U-Haul. She said, "It's two guys going up the stairs dressed in all black."
Oh my.
I said, "What?" I said, "What are they doing?" I said, "Where are they going?" And but mind you, like the apartment got like these things where you could only see so much, like these wooden things, like a fence almost. Um, and so then right after I said that, I hear shots back to back to back to back to back. I hung up the phone, speeding. I'm talking about I almost got into accident after accident. I ran every light going home. Um, it was weird because when I got there, the ambulance is there. The police is already there, so I'm gonna guess people already called. But mind you, like work is like 10 to 15 minutes away. I don't know how long the shots went on because I hung up the phone and I was just on my way there. And I started screaming while I was screaming while I was on the phone. I said, no, like I'm just yelling no, like what's going on? No, no, no. But she said she wasn't going up there until all the shots stopped firing. Um, long story short, so I get there. No, I'm almost there. I'm at the light going. I saw a text pop up on my phone. My sister texted the family group chat and said he got shot. I didn't know who she was talking about, but I had an idea. So now I'm going even faster. Like I don't even know how fast I was going. I don't even know. I got there. A cop is over the suspect. A cop is over the suspect. The suspect is like in the grass and stuff, and his baby mama is standing next to him, looking over him. No emotion, no nothing. Hop out the car. I left everything running. My car running. My door was open. Purse, everything still in the car. I ran up the stairs. The cop said, "Ma'am, don't go up there. Somebody's armed." And I cussed him out. And I said, "It's him, nigga." Like, and I cussed him out. And so I'm going up the stairs. Um, I see blood up while I'm going up the stairs. And the door is open. And I see my sister holding my child's father um rib, yeah, abdomen. I see her holding the abdomen. My best friend is holding my baby, and my sister best friend is just standing there. Mind you, they young. They're like 18, 17. And my best friend is the same age as me. Um, she's just standing there in distraught. His 10-year-old son is standing over his body, just looking at him. I get in there and I straight go into medical mode. I start yelling, and I didn't mean it in a bad way, but I start yelling at the son, telling him get out of here, go in the other room, go in the other room. his daughter is in the room screaming. She got her hands over her ears, yelling, "My ears, my ears, my ears." Um, so while I'm there, my sister just busts. She's crying. My sister's just crying, and she's crying really bad and saying, "I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." I said, "Just keep holding it. Just keep holding." And I said, "One of y'all call the paramedics. Call the cops. Call the cops." So she's on the phone with them. They telling her,
I thought it was already there.
"Yeah, one. It was downstairs. Um, but it wasn't more. It was just that one." Um, so anyways, I started doing CPR.
Let me saw your kids.
My child's father. I couldn't. I don't even know if I was doing it right. I'm not even gonna lie. And I know how to do CPR. I passed all my stuff, but I was so distraught. I didn't know what was going on. I went to go breathe in his mouth, and he was like cardiac arrest. His teeth was locked. Yeah, but I thought he was still alive. So I checked his pulse. He still had a beat. I'm still thinking he there. Um, I'm still thinking he alive. I said, "Somebody go get paramedics, get paramedics." Her best friend went downstairs, called the paramedics. Paramedics came up there. They told me to get out the way, and they started doing CPR, everything. Um, I'm in the corner. Um, and then they told me that they had a pulse on him. And I'm praying. I said, "God, if you just keep him alive, I'll forgive them. I'll forgive anybody, like anything that happened. Da da da." Um, while I said that, after I said amen, they said we lost his pulse. I was so mad. And I said, "How you wait?" So after I said the prayer, and I told God, I said I would never forget him. And I stayed in there. Um, they had the kids leave out the room covered up in blankets so they don't see anything. They kept trying to force me to get out. My mom and them, after they said shot, my family they start coming, but they came after everything. Um, they start coming and my mom yelling at them, "That's my daughter in there, that's my daughter in them." I was frozen. I couldn't move. I couldn't think. I just stood there thinking he gonna come back alive. And I was telling God, I said, "God, you made other people come back alive, like be for real." And so they kept saying, "Ma'am, we need you to leave." I said, "No, this is my house. This is I'm staying here. That's my boyfriend. I'm staying here. I'm staying here." Um, they said, "You're not gonna want to see this." Um, I just finally accepted as far as walking out. And I left. And then I wish I would have never left out. Um, they started telling me like they need me at the police station. It was just I said, "Hold on," like I was confused. I said, "I gotta be here for him." They said, "Ma'am." They still wouldn't tell me like if he was here or not. And in my mind, I didn't even fully believe that he was gone probably until I would say like the end of last year. Like I was still calling him my boyfriend, everything, acting like he's still there, talking to him. I would have his blanket, walk around in his robe. It was really bad. Um, so I've been doing good, not crying in my therapy session. So, um, anyway, so I went to police station. Um, they asked me if they could have my phone. Automatically, I signed the paper. You can have anything you want. I get them everything. Screenshots, documents, anything they needed. I gave it to them. They played their part as in trying to pin it on me and everything like that. I said I would have never gave y'all my phone. I said I would have never been cooperative. I came in multiple times with multiple times. The detective kept disrespecting me, calling me his baby mama. Never called me my name. You could at least call me my name. Right. Wasn't calling me my name. Kept trying to say how my family had something to do with it when they didn't even show up there. Trying to say how they had everything on ring camera. I said, "Then show me the evidence." They would never show me to this day. If y'all had other people on that camera besides the people who went in there, people would have been locked up as far as people on my side of the family. They kept trying to involve. They was like, "Well, how did your family show up then?" I said, "They came after the fact." I said, "They was like literally trying to get me out the apartment and everything." I said, "They came after all that." And I said, "They only knew because my sister texted the group chat." And then my sister gave her side of the story. She said how when she heard the shots that she actually ran up the stairs, and when she ran up there, both of the guys went these ways. So one of the guys ended up passing by her. We found out who the other guy was, and I sent all that information in. He's still out there. I sent all that information in.
He's still out there to today.
The detective said my child's father killed his killer, and that's how he left. And so,
Okay, so that was the one in the yard.
yes, they shot each other. But well, they didn't shoot each other. My child's father ended up shooting him because once they interviewed the son, because the son was the only one there when it went down, the son said he knew it was the same guy from earlier because he had the same shoes on. And he said the guy had they had the girl who had left when I got there, her whole room was empty. And she even broke some of the stuff in her apartment before she left. Her whole room was empty. And he said that she had left the door cracked open. His dad went to go close the door, and that's when they put their foot in the door. And then they told him, mind you, my child's father, he walked around with a gun on him 24/7, whether somebody was living there or not. That's just how he is. He went through some stuff, so I'd let him do him. As long as anytime he had the gun not on him, everything was apart. The whole gun was apart. Nothing was ever put together and pushed under nothing. It was always broken up, and then he put it up. Um, or like he'll put it up or under, but it would nothing would ever be empty. Long story short, but this day he was already walking around the house with it because he already said something was off. So once he went to the door and they put their foot in the door, that's when he had said, "What are y'all doing?" Da da da. And they said, "We either gonna do this the easy way or the hard way." And he told him, "Man, I got my kids in here." He said, "Tell your kids to go to a separate room." So he told them. His son is the only one who didn't listen. Um, his son didn't go to the room. So his son said that my child father pulled his gun out because they already had theirs, and he shot the one dude, and that's when I guess the guy had like stumbled back, and my child's father didn't close the door. He's thinking it's only one person because he could only see one person. The other guy pushed in, and the other guy had a I guess it's an automatic. I don't really know about guns, but it was one of them that just keep going. And he pushed open the door, and that's where that went left. And my child's father went to go cover his son, and that's how he ended up passing away by shielding his son. And it shot him in the back and went through the front. It was so bad that lots of bullets went to the other neighbor's apartment. They had kids. Everything was destroyed. Um, it was even bullets that literally hit the room that the kids was in, but it hit the corner to where it only went to the corner. Um, my daughter was on the bed that time. It was bullets everywhere. It was so bad that even when I went back to go clean up and get my stuff out the apartment, that we still found bullets and casings in the apartment. Like they wasn't even able to clean up everything. Um, Even when I went to the police station, I kept asking about my child's father. Is he okay? Where is he at? When can we go see him? They still never told me until they got done interviewing me. And then they told me that, well, just to let you know, he didn't make it. And I froze up all over again. Um, I was even crying while I was there because I said, "Can I just have my baby? I just want my baby." Um, I started crying because I went to change her diaper. I didn't even know how to change her because that was his job. Um, I didn't know what to do. Um, got so bad that I couldn't even hold her no more. Um, I had to give her to my mom. My mom played a big part in her first few months of life. She still does right now, but um, I didn't wash her. I didn't do nothing. I started breastfeeding her because I couldn't eat. Um, I had lost all my weight. People thought I was on drugs because everything got skinny. I lost my hair, my face got skinny, my body got skinny. I just had nothing. I couldn't even produce milk. Imagine going from an overproducer to nothing. Um, I was I was going through it. Um, my daughter had to get on alimentum. If y'all know what that is, it's a special milk because she was breastfed. So She was in and out the hospital. It was she was on her deathbed at 2 months. They couldn't figure out what was going on with her. She wouldn't eat. She was literally pooping 20 diapers in a day. Like she was really pale and just losing it. Um his family, it was crazy because they didn't know me until the funeral. So they all thought, not all of them, a lot of them thought I had something to do with it because they said, why wouldn't he have? I said, that has nothing to do with me. I've been trying to get to know y'all. Um, his mom was very nice and stuff, and his grandma, but I didn't trust them. Um, his sister had made a live on Facebook, and yep, I got that too. Saying how they was gonna take my daughter, how I was an unfit mom, how I'm too young, da da da. And I said, well, that's not what your brother thought. So at the end of the day, I remember he literally showed me messages where his brother was telling me, we asked him why you, like why he picked you and stuff and da da da. He said something's different about her, this, that, and the third. And I said, and that's real. And I said, whether y'all here or not, my baby gonna be taken care of. And then they start then so once like evidence came up that I had nothing to do with it, of course they still try to pin it on that. Now the baby not his. Baby looked just like him. His mama, his daughters, a lot of them believe that it was his, but I feel like it was a lot of the grief that was talking. They did blame her complexion a lot. I'm not dark. He is. My baby had my complexion. And then it's a newborn baby. Be for real. Like babies don't get their color until a few months. Every baby is different. But her ears had a little dark it on it. So it's just like, come on now. They were saying, well, like, she looked like you, but she do look like him. It was just a lot. And I was just like, she's a baby, like features gotta come. Right. But yes, she is 100% his. And he knew that too. Um, so long story short, it was just I had a hard time mingling with them. A lot of them I removed off Facebook. They got mad at me about that. I had his little cousins cussing me out. I just let them. I said I'm a grown woman. I said so I'm not gonna argue with no child. And for the other ones, they when they saw me, they just didn't look at me. They'll like try to hug, dash, or whatever. But I told them, once you disrespect the mom, you disrespecting the child. And my child, no, she's cool. And the grandma, I was cool with her. I just didn't trust her. Um, the day my child's father passed away, uh, um, a lady from Florida called my mom. She's a prophet. Called my mom. Mind you, the news, none of the stuff even got out yet. Um, Even if it did, she's always in Florida. She don't get our news or nothing. She called my mom and she said, didn't your daughter just have a baby not too long ago? My mom said, yeah, like da da da. And the lady said, well, I just came out of my prayer room and stuff, and the Lord is telling me to let you know to tell her if her child's father asks for her baby, if her child's father, it's okay. You own that with other stuff. Golly.
If her child's father asks for the baby.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Okay.
It's the speaker on there.
Okay.
Hello. Yep, it's on.
Okay. They said, oh, the prophet had called my mom and told my mom if her child's father asked for her baby to tell her to not give the baby over to them. It will be 2 years before she see her baby again. Um, I broke down crying. My mom told me. My mom broke down crying.
If the child's father,
their family, not him.
Oh.
The family. My mom broke down crying. I broke down crying, and that's when my mom came out and told her, like, what happened. And the lady was like, "Wow!" Like the lady started crying with my mom.
So the lady didn't even know your mom.
She do know my mom.
But she didn't know the situation.
She didn't know the situation, and she also didn't know my mom like that. My mom was taking care of her sister while she was on her deathbed and stuff, and her sister and my mom was like best friends, so they were mutual. Um, and they were talking, or they didn't start talking until I call her my auntie, until my auntie got on her deathbed, and that's when they started getting to know each other because funeral arrangements and stuff. Um, so that was a lot. So I took that message very seriously. God had already given me a dream. I remember I saw her big sister holding her when she was a baby. And I have a picture exactly of how it was in a dream. And then I remember seeing how Dash was gonna have nobody, like none of her dad's family. Whether it was by choice or not. I didn't know it was gonna be by choice. Some of the people I did cut off because of y'all was talking about. So I don't know. I'm not doing that. It as far as me, I did cut the grandma off. The great grandma, she all right, but I don't trust her because she keep asking for my address, and you're not gonna come drive down here, and you're not gonna say nothing either, because you would have got me something when you saw me all these times. Um, the grandma, I didn't trust the grandma. Just something in the back of my head always told me not to trust her. They are sweet people, but just because somebody is do good deeds or is sweet doesn't make them a good person or their intentions. Um, with that being said, what rubbed me the wrong way, she asked if she could get my baby for the day, and did I get her pick her up at the end of the day? I cut her off because of that. Yes, I did. And I went and told her about herself in a nice way. I never cussed her out. I said, "Why would I let you get my child? Y'all don't even FaceTime like that." Like it was just so many things. I said, you acting like you there all the time. I
So
said,
it's just like giving your
yeah,
baby to a stranger.
thank
That's
you.
exactly what it
Literally,
is.
I said every time my daughter see you, she has to remember y'all. I said you was just in Lansing, and you act like you couldn't come see her. You kept asking me to come to the game. My spirit told me no. And I actually told her, I said, well, I can come to the game, but can you meet me in the vestibule? For one, it's you and all his family. I'm not trusting y'all just coming by myself, my baby. I'm not trusting that. There's been multiple times where she has invited me to go on family trips. No, I'm Disney World. I'm 1,000 miles away, and you think it's just gonna be me and my baby? I told my mom, she came up with so many scenarios how they could put me by myself. Like it was just stuff was going crazy. How they would put me by myself, how the kids they could use the kids and say they want to hold the baby and take the baby over here and get you over here. They can do something to you, throw you over the boat. And my mom was just saying so much stuff. And I told my mom like it wasn't gonna happen anyways, but now you put it like that, I'm real life good. Um, with that being said, they had made him a GoFundMe for his funeral, never sent me none of the details. So I made him one myself. And then any of the money I made from it, I did send it over to the main GoFundMe. But then like people around the neighborhood, like people who knew me and stuff like that, they told me that they already seen the other GoFundMe, like they seen both of them, and they asked for my personal cash app and said, "This is for you and your baby. Don't put it towards that." And so, they were sending me more money for being baby than they were for the GoFundMe. Even the person father, like the suspect's father, um, apologized to my
And the
family.
suspect died.
hmm The suspect's father apologized to my family and said that he knew how his son was, and said that he should have been there more. And he also sent $30 to my uh baby daddy's GoFundMe. It was cool, but my my child's father died at 30, so I was overthinking stuff. I was like, he trying to be funny, sending $30. Like I wasn't trying to but hey, I was overthinking stuff, and so
You was going through a lot.
I was going through a lot. I was crashing out all the time. My sister and I relationship had broke up because of some stuff she's talking about. She thought that I felt like it was her fault that she couldn't save him. I said, girl, he wouldn't have made it. Like when it's God's time, it's God's time. I had a neighbor who lived across the street from me who got shot in the neck and had a trachea, but he's still here. Uh, People got shot in the head and they still here. I said, when it's somebody's time, it's somebody's time. And I said, I don't really know what somebody went through in their past life for God to. You could have been a good person though, but for God to say when it's done, it's done. You don't even know if God used my child's father to be able to get held other people accountable for their actions. Um, it took me a long time to get there though.
Have you talked to the girl, to Weirdo?
No, oh no.
Have you seen her?
Yes, that's why I don't go to my mama church. Yeah. And we did speak to the leaders, they did pass the baton over. So we spoke to the leaders, so they did know about it and stuff. And like anytime, like they will always look at my mom. And like, whenever like they seen the other girl, then they look at my mom. But they totally believed me. I even showed them the proof and stuff. But even before I showed them the proof, they said you don't gotta show us. We already know how they are. Apparently, the son, the weirdo's mom, son. Remember the son that's in the military. Before he went to the military, he dated the pastor's daughter, and it didn't go well. I don't really know what happened, but they told us, they said, yeah, we know about them. They dated our daughter, like our granddaughter, um, and yeah, they was like something is a little off. But only reason why they're still able to be at the church, a lot of people who did wrong are still able to be at the church because the church don't believe in kicking people out because they can get lawsuits because of discrimination.
Say say something. You can't hear. Is she not talking loud enough? It said they couldn't hear you. Can you? If you can hear, give me the thumbs up, some hearts, some. Let me know you can hear. Okay, thank you, lovely.
You are
Okay,
so
she can
strong,
hear.
honey.
You are definitely strong. Like hats off, gloves off, shirts off, clothes off.
Like,
Not clothes off, but I'm always talking about being naked. But for
no,
real.
y'all don't even understand how far it took me to get here. It wasn't until 2020. I was gonna say date, but it wasn't until not too long ago where I lost everything. I
You
thought
can say dates.
I thought the apartment was gonna be on my side, but they told me that I allowed people with firearms to come in my home, and they evicted. Um,
Even though you wasn't even there.
even though I wasn't there, and the person I allowed in my home was defending my home. Um, so I lost everything. I lost a lot of stuff in the home. Um, I had went back with my mom. That didn't last too long because I was grieving, and it was like as if people don't understand your grief. And it was weird to me. I was telling like I just saw somebody, the love of my life, basically die in front of me. I feel like it was my fault because I know certain things. Um, as far as CPR and things like that. Um, autopsy showed that he passed away within, they said, no more than 20 seconds.
Wow.
My sister said that's not true because she said, remember when the people passed by her, the son closed the door and locked it. So he was just in there with his dad, shot. And my sister started banging on the door, and the son never said nothing. He was quiet. She said she kept banging and saying, "It's TT. It's your TT here." He opened the door, and that's when she saw what she saw. It, and she said when he opened the door, she said when she went to go press his wound and put something over it, she said he looked at her and then put his eyes up as if he was waiting for somebody to come to be with the kids. He was like holding on a little bit longer.
Girl.
So I was telling, yeah, and a lot of stuff. Like at first, I was talking to his brother, his real brother. At first, I was talking to all of them and everything. But every time I talked to them, for one, they never asked about my baby. And at first, I let it pass because we grieving, you want answers and stuff. But I gave y'all everything I know. But now they want addresses. Now they want this and a third. I am a person who did believe in revenge and get back, but I'm not a silly woman. You're not finna say I sent you any evidence. You're not finna say I gave you anything. We're not going to, I'm not sending nothing over the phone. I'm not doing none of that. I'm the only child that the only parent that my child has, for one. For two, y'all already don't trust me or believe me.
Right.
I'm not sending y'all nothing for what when y'all get caught, or if y'all don't get caught, y'all tell me, like, basically that has something to do with it. Um, and then I told him I already sent everything over. And then he was even telling me how when he had called the detective months later, the detective was talking to him, and he didn't know which family member he was talking to because he never stated his name. And that's when the detective had told him, I already know who it was. Um, the guy he got shot in his house with his three kids. He was not talking about my child's father. He switched the story, the people of the story. Same situation, switched the people. Switched the suspect as the victim and the victim as the suspect.
Mm.
That's when he hired a private investigator. My child's father brother hired a private investigator because stuff was awkward. The detective apologized because he said somebody came in his office to switch his notes. I said that's not how notes work. And who what? Like it was just so weird.
Like a movie type stuff.
It was so weird.
It's the demonic spirit. They was getting attacked by demonic spirit. They was jumping all over these.
Yeah.
The way that everything is planning out, like how the sequence and how carefully everything was.
Yeah.
Like it was demonic. It was like it's demonic. Like people don't understand. It's real.
It is.
It's darkness against light. It's real.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone said that you've been through it's the same. Grateful Prosperity said you've been through so much, says props to you for real. You have to pay close attention to that boy because he's gonna blame himself for his father's death. His dad died protecting him.
Like you feeling
and then that
I can't.
so they don't even allow you to talk to them.
No. The sister would call my daughter and they would talk whatever, and the brother would go tell the mom, and she has to hang up. Like now, she's like they blocked me and everything. I can't talk to her. He already told me how his child's mother was, but this is crazy. Like this is a whole nother kid. But she had told me if he didn't tell me about you because he knew if I would have knew your age, I would have never let the kids come over. I said, what? What does my age got to do with anything? I understand y'all upset about the age, but this could have happened with somebody who was older than him, somebody who was the same age.
And I'm not even I love your kid. I took care of
Thank you. I took care of them. All their Christmas gifts, we had photo shoots planned and everything. Couldn't give it nothing to them. I had to give it away to people who needed it.
What this young man said, not whoever, but Jonathan Hill said, people have different ways to vent, and it seems like to me you haven't properly mourned yet. Have you gave yourself time to mourn, or have you had a chance to mourn?
Yes, I went through it, and I'm gonna get to that part. I went through it. My part of healing involved drugs and everything like that. I was smoking heavily. I started partying, but I didn't go out and party. I was going to like y'all know Baker Street. I was going hanging out over there.
Over there with my nephews and stuff, because they was
Yes.
Baker Street party.
Yes, I was doing stuff like that. I would just let my mom keep baby girl while I went to go do me as far as like drinking and all that. Um, it took me over 2 years. I'm just now accepting the fact that he's gone and really fully understanding that he's gone and that he's not here. When I didn't understand that, that was my mourning process. It was really bad. I didn't eat for over a year, and I survived because of water. I didn't eat nothing. Um, they try to put me on depression pills. They try to put me on all stuff. When I tried to eat, I would throw up. I was going to his grave every day. So that means I was driving an hour every day, sitting at his grave, having my mom come with me, taking my daughter, um, and I would just sit there, listen to music, talk to him, and just sit there. I still have his stuff. I even still have stuff from the scene, in a band, and I was just now able to go through that last year, and that was a part of my healing process, and it helped a lot. And I recorded all of it because for my daughter's sake.
She said, "Hell yeah, we know Baker Street, okay."
Okay. And so yeah, I was doing my
Someone
thing.
said, how long ago was this, if you don't?
This year would be 3 years. It will be 3 years this year.
I can't imagine.
All of this happened here in Lansing.
I hate Lansing. I hated Lansing from the day I was 4 years old. Like I just didn't like it, and always told my mother I wanted to get out of here.
Yeah. She said, thank God for your daughter, because without her, you might not have chosen to stay in this world.
That's true. 100%. So many times I had to look at my daughter and realize the reason why I'm here. I was about to sign my daughter over to my mom.
Wow.
I was about to give her everything and just be done. I became homeless because we were getting into it. My mom and my siblings and I, we were just getting into it. It was too much. I became homeless. I was washing up at the Lansing Mall with my daughter. I was just sitting inside of McDonald's because I had nothing to do. I never begged. They saw me and offered me free food. And it was times where I told God just make a way. I had a storage room that I just put all my stuff in, and I had a bin in my trunk that we would just use. It wasn't until the winter time that I decided to take, like, I'll sleep in the car and have my daughter stay in my mom's house because it was too cold. Um, we went through it. I was couch hopping. I was sleeping in people's basements. I was sleeping in people's living rooms. Um, but me staying in the car lasted till my daughter was about 8 months. That it lasted a long time, almost a year, and it was bad. Um, it was really bad. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say.
As you looking at that, she said, God gave you a reason to stay here. I have all the love in the world for you. I have all the love for you in the world.
Thank you. I love you too with the love of God.
Yes.
So
Bless your baby girl. You are beautiful. Bless you, baby girl. You are beautiful and amazing, and God is bringing you through this for a divine
yes.
purpose. That's a fact.
And one thing I started, and that's the thing too, like I started to believe all the things that people were telling me and calling me, only because
My question.
I couldn't understand why me, God. And I'm not perfect. I did bad stuff. I stole from Walmart.
Girl, some of us still do. Well, not me no more.
And like, I never did nothing super dramatic. Even when it came to like the whole church thing, like it was never like I never did nothing evil. That's what I'm gonna say. I never did anything evil, and anyone can vouch for that. I mean, I fought my mom and my sister, but I still would never like put them in harm's way to where like at the end of the day, me and my sister not cool. My mom and I would bump a hit, but don't play with me.
Okay.
Like, I never did nothing. I never even put a friend in harm's way. Like, it was just certain things that motions and what people were doing. If I feel like we wasn't gonna be cool, I cut you off. And that's just how it was. Um, we just came to the conclusion that the girl was jealous of me. I was in school. I had my own car. I had my own house. I had a baby daddy who was actually there for me. I had certain things like,
and
going
nothing
into
happened
place.
to her because she's the one who set that up.
Yeah. She moved. All her stuff was gone. All her stuff
That
was
quick.
gone. I don't know. I don't even know how she's able to still go to the church. But God, I was talking to somebody from the church, minister or whatever he is, deacon, and he had some stuff happen that people still go there too. And he was just telling me like, sometimes people have to be somewhere where they can feel good and have an image of them and stuff like that. And then it drew me back to my father. And I was like, okay, like I'm slowly starting to understand that sometimes this is their only safe place.
Mm.
Whether it's for an image or not. Maybe you go home and you going crazy, things like that. Even when I went there a few times, they turn their head and don't look at me. I stared them down because I'd be mad. And one time I was in church and I'm texting the grandma. I took a picture of them. And I was texting the grandma about to say, they right here. Y'all come get them, da da da. I deleted the message.
That's good because I would have sent it.
I was so close.
She said, baby girl has singled you out. God's strongest soldier. It's not just a thing to say. God gives bigger challenges to those he has the biggest plans for. I just want to ask this question. Um, so you know how when you go through what you go through, well, we grow. I say you grow through what you go through. I just wrote a couple questions. So um, I asked you at first, how did you feel about God? And you said that you really didn't like him, right?
Mhm.
So when did your vision, like when did your feelings toward God change? When was it like, okay, God, like I know this is not works of you, like you're real. Like when did you feel like
In
God?
the midst of my homelessness.
Okay, so after baby girl dad passed. So in the midst of your homelessness, and it's crazy, it's not crazy, it's God. Because I'm doing an assignment for one of my classes today on homelessness and how homelessness, they said homelessness is a mindset because
It is.
you had a car, you had a roof over your head, but it wasn't your car. You still have places that you can go, but like I said in my document, that is the reason why it's homeless because it's not your safe space. So
And then if you have children, you can only be somewhere for so long.
for so long, right? So you thank you God for that because that's good. So you started. So you don't use the H word, but you. I'm just gonna say you started loving God in your homelessness.
Yes.
And normally when we get to those dark places and we by ourselves,
Yeah.
that's when we really start really like reaching out for him.
Yeah.
And my car is my prayer closet.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
that's where he talked to me in the car on the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if you could ask him, you already said that you asked God why you, and I'm gonna tell you what my sister said to me because that's the question I used to ask, like, why is this happening to me? Why me? But why not you? I call myself the chosen one. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm the chosen one. God chose us to go through to grow through what we went through on purpose for a purpose.
Yeah.
And so you speaking out on this is your purpose right here. Your voice, not just here, but what your testimony is going to take you places.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is just the beginning. This is just the
You said you like to
beginning.
write, right?
Yes. I used to do poems and all that.
Okay.
Write a
Like
book.
To me,
Everybody keep telling me that.
I mean, that's what it's
I need a scribe, so if y'all know scribes, then yes.
I don't even know what that is, but she's writing a book, so y'all can politics.
Yeah, I am writing a book about how somebody who actually Kiana gave to me that probably could help you.
Okay.
Somebody said, she said, not me tearing up, not me tearing up. Talk about resilience. Resilience.
I'm sorry, Angel.
I've
Before I
seen you
forget
grow
it,
a lot. Oh, she said, I've seen you grow a lot. And I'm proud of you.
say that God strips you from everything.
Eh,
So, but He does it
Girl.
because even when you think that you gave your attention, He wants your full attention. He don't want no type of distractions or anything.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we put here for our purpose, or we don't know what our purpose
Yeah.
is. Sometimes our purpose is to be a lesson for somebody
Yeah.
else, or is to show somebody that you have to go through something
Yep.
in order to for other people to get the message.
Yes. Yes.
She said, remember how God tested Job? You read that?
I was just
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
like
he took away
everything.
yeah,
everything.
He gonna
Yeah.
double and triple it.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah.
in due time.
Yeah.
Listen, the one who's commented on here,
Mhm.
this is when I tell you this, my right hand man. We used to write music together and everything as kids. Like she's, I ain't gonna tell all your business. She's amazing. So she's tagged in here. Y'all can contact each other. Like she's like when I tell you she's gifted in more ways than just one.
Yes.
Like
I want to make a movie one day about it.
Maybe that's what
her-
it is. Maybe it ain't a book. Maybe
listen, it's a movie, but for real lifetime.
Not Tubi.
Not Tubi. No, Tubi's okay. We can start at Tubi, but if you can ask God a question right now and He answer it for you right now, like how we talking, like we asking you questions, you answering it. I'm gonna let that marinate. So you can go ahead and think about that question, and He can give you the answer. But I'm gonna ask you this: do you feel like you are 100? Well, none of us is really 100% healed for real. We still got like 95%, maybe 95%. Do you feel like you're healed?
I'm still healing.
that's right. I was waiting on that.
Cause yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm still healing. I'm in a part to where like I do want to try love, but I'm not fully ready for it.
I just went on that.
Just
So
wait
do
on God.
you feel like I ask everybody this question. So because a lot of times, well, it is the little girl in you that was um hurt.
Hmm.
Has that little girl been healed?
She's healing. I just said
What
the
would
other
you-
day, my daughter brings the child out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What would you the healing you're still going through the healing process.
Yeah.
The healing and growing you. What would you tell that little girl today? If you can look
Look into the mirror.
if you can look in the mirror, right? If you can look in the mirror right now and that little girl, that 4-year-old, so you was 12, was staring back at you, what would you tell her? Okay, so we're gonna let that resonate.
Yeah.
What would you tell the healing you?
That God is real, and I would tell the healing me to keep going. You've been doing it, you can do it. And that's one thing that helped me a lot too was what I went through when I was a kid. And that's when I realized, okay,
He brought you from that.
Yeah, like you did this on purpose because this is already going. Like he already knew it was gonna happen. And I was telling myself, I would never wish none of this on my worst enemy. But especially something when it comes to your parent and something like that.
Yeah.
And I said, if I went through that, I can get this.
So you told her that, but what would you tell you? Are you proud of you?
Yes, I am. Not fully, but I'm proud of it. Procrastination is a big thing now, but I am proud.
I just put procrastination in my cup on Sunday. So we're gonna put that in a cup and we're gonna leave that.
Okay.
We're gonna start
Yes.
something and put all the things that we call ourselves because
Mhm.
you're not a procrastinator. If you call yourself that, you're gonna stay that.
Right. You're
So
right.
you're not that. We can speak. We're healed.
Mhm.
You're proud of yourself.
Mhm.
Do you love?
Yes. I just started.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. So keep loving yourself.
It took me getting my hair done and stuff for me to start seeing like, the work. And sometimes self-care is what it takes.
No, but you gotta love yourself in your natural state. And I'm telling you
No,
that
I believe
like
you.
everything that like I just started loving myself. I'm 36.
Yeah.
I just started loving myself
Was it November?
August.
And I was talking about me in November.
Yeah, like I literally just started loving myself, like all my imperfections, and it's not crazy. It's so God because I just posted on Facebook. I've been wanting to close my gap for years, forever since I was a
I
kid.
saw that and all the comments like, no.
Yes,
No.
and so and some people was
Say,
like,
yeah.
yeah, if that's
You
what
can
you
do
want to
it,
do,
yeah.
yeah. And then some people was like my sister told me,
No.
like my smile is what makes me me, so I had to, what, God, you made me this way on purpose. I can't keep calling myself the chosen one or God's favorite and then want to change things about me.
God and we trust him or don't trust him.
We made in his image.
Literally.
Yeah, so that's good. So I'm gonna say this. I know you're not done, but I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of your strength, your resilience. Like I've been through the same thing, like I told you on the phone, but just not, some things are totally different. But just to see your strength and you're so young, and just sitting here having the conversation with you, we wouldn't be able to tell that. So you keep growing.
That's
and
favor.
keep going.
That's definitely favor.
Don't ever give up. And one day, I don't know if you forgave the person, but you didn't. You didn't forgive them, and I know you didn't forgive them. And that's
No, it's
listen.
okay. Sorry, I
No, it's fine. But I know you did not forgive them.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to in this season of your life right now because we can't expect God. God said you gotta love your enemy. I know. Listen, I know.
Forgiving your enemy and love your enemy don't mean having your enemy in your circle. You love them from a distance.
From a what Tyler Perry say? From a distance.
I have a question to ask you though. Are you how far are you done? Are you half the way? Are you 3/4? How far are you done?
My healing?
No, in your testimony.
Oh, I'm almost done. I just got.
I was gonna ask her to come back again.
Well, she still can come back. She still, y'all want her to come back. Look, she said, keep telling your story. Yeah, keep telling your story. Your story will change life.
Beautiful.
Thank
It's
you
so
for sharing your
wonderful.
story.
And I
so
too
much
agree
love
with
in
Angel like that. I am very proud of you. I don't know you, but I am 43 years old. I've been through some things too. At 22, I wasn't thinking about telling a soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was still trying to run and hide, and, and God has a calling for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Just keep on putting him first. Keep on leaning on to him. And remember, like, everything that you're going through is not in vain. It's a purpose behind all of it. The only way you're going to find out is by seeking him. We say, seek and you shall find. So just keep on going. You strong. You're beautiful too. You can't even tell that you went through anything. You are so. I want you to look at your little girl. That's your second chance. God has given you a second chance with that little baby. You talk about breaking generational curses. He did that for you. When you go home, pour you up a big old cup of Kool-Aid. I ain't gonna say no wine. Pour you up a big old cup of Kool-Aid and put your feet up and say, I did that because you did. And you're doing that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, sis.
So, my girl said your story. Oh my God. She should have just came on live. She's like, you can speak on me, and now your perspective. You have to say about me. That was for me. I think healing never ends completely. When you get to the healing point, when you get to the healing point, God will test you again because he has a plan and purpose for you. That's a fact. Your story is so powerful. You are young and strong and a warrior, a beautiful and blessed. There's so much to love about you. I see that in a woman I've never met. And that's a fact because this is our first time meeting, you know. Thank you for sharing your story. Your story will change lives. Keep telling your story. Please, please, please keep telling your story. And when you pray again, thank God for your pain because He blessed you with a greater purpose. So no, it's okay. I thank you for even coming on here and just being active with us. Like
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So
I can't wait.
No,
I'm
but
not
you
done.
still can come back. You still can come back, girl.
No, I know.
Because you still got to answer them questions I asked.
Okay.
You. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I do want to ask this question, and this is for you too. So when we go through things like this, and people tell us something that they think is, what do people say to you today that think that they're helping and comforting you, but it's really not comforting?
One, everybody doesn't know how to give advice or words of encouragement. I will put that out there. They tell me stuff I already know, as far as like, you gonna be okay. You can do this. I mean, sometimes I didn't know it, but it's just like, sometimes people just don't know what to say. Or like, or they'll give advice that's like off putting. Like now I feel a different way. Like, what are you talking about? So like some people don't understand that it's just an ear sometimes. I don't need a therapist. I don't need your response. I just need you to listen sometimes. But a lot of the times it's just some people just like learn how to shut up and listen. I'm sorry. But yeah.
What helped you that you didn't expect to help you heal?
I would say his blessings, God's blessings. Only because it wasn't really until um in my mind, the strength that God has given me. Um the biggest thing that helped me was my past and my daughter, obviously. But other things is just my past. I mean, I heard so many stories, people car getting repo. I don't know how mine still wasn't. I heard like just so many things of God giving me favor and grace, mercy.
Yeah.
Mercy was the biggest one. Although as though I don't want to be cocky, as though I wasn't bad as other people, I still wasn't the best, and I still definitely disrespected God a whole lot, like plenty of times. He just still always looked out for me. What was one of the questions you asked me earlier? I got to answer.
Which one? What would you say to the little girl? Or what would you say to the healing and growing you? Nope, you answered that one. What helped you the most? Oh, no, no, no. If you could ask God anything, he would answer it right now. What would it be?
I would ask him, did I go through everything to be called, or did I go through everything to be chosen? That's what I would ask.
Okay, so I'm gonna do you this favor. I'm gonna ask you to do this. Write that same question down.
Okay.
You want to take it out that book? Hold on, stop
Right
on
on
the other
right
side.
on
Yeah,
right.
right on the other one, because
Right.
you're gonna rip this out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pay attention, because you might need to do this too. No one will be perfect, and I love that you said not to be cocky because you are absolutely humble and amazing, and that just makes it even more worthy.
I want to answer that question too, though, because you gave me that same question.
If you could ask God one question.
No, as far as when people think they're giving you advice and it's not really helping you.
Rip this out and put it in your favorite. Put it next to your favorite scripture in the Bible, and this time next week you're gonna have your answer.
Okay.
And I want you to message me or her with your answer. Is that your favorite scripture?
Girl, it's the
No, I said I'm gonna find it.
You look up. You put it up. She ain't even up in there yet.
Right.
So to answer the question for me, I think that is just when people automatically know or think they know
Mm,
um how you feel,
that's good.
you know, and even though because everybody can go through the same thing.
Lift your mic up.
We all we all went through the same. Okay, let me see, because it's what her because she's so soft spoken. My mouth is big, so
There you go.
but we all may have had some similar experiences. And we all can go through the same exact experiences, but we all would experience it differently.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people need to understand that just because it made you feel this way doesn't mean it made me feel that way.
Right. Absolutely.
You know,
That's
and
good.
that you need, like she said, like, just being a listening ear. Listen to understand, not to respond.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know,
That's
that's the biggest encouragement you can give me. A lot of people, that's why we do this, right?
yeah.
Because a lot of people don't feel like they be heard. We just want to be heard. Can
Mhm.
we get our side out?
Right.
Can
Yeah.
you just hear us?
Yeah.
So that's why no, baby, I was not rushing you off.
No, you're
spot.
fine.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that because we already said like when we allow y'all to come on,
Right.
this is y'all podcast for today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk as long as you if you want to talk. If it's we got to take our kids to school at 7 in the morning.
So you want to talk until
So
6 in the
you want
morning?
6 in the morning,
Y'all are too much.
I'm just saying because it's y'all, but that would be my answer.
Yes.
And that's good. That's good. So she said, same girl, grateful prosperity. Sorry, I keep jacking your name up. Those are the people that need to hear your story the most because they haven't experienced it themselves. If they had, they would know what's the wrong thing to say and what's not the right thing to say. So keep telling your story; it's important. And here you are, being one of the most blessings from God to other people. And no one will be perfect. And I love that you said, not the cocky part because you are humbly made. Oh, I already said that. Now she asked a question, huh?
Try. Go ahead.
She said, "What is the difference between being called and being chosen?"
A lot of people is called.
She took the words on mouth.
So
Many are called,
few are chosen. So the thing is, that's just like, well, Black.
Can I say that?
Kenwood. Okay, go ahead.
So, when God says many are called, that's because He can use you as a vessel, and you can go through all the trials and tribulations in your life, and He'll still use you as an example of His grace and a third. He'll still use you whether you give Him your yes or no. People will still look at your life and look at everything was orchestrated, how everything worked out, and you can still go to hell. If you're still doing the same thing, you still going up there, like you still doing the same thing you did when you left. You're not fully giving your all to Jesus. You're not fully changing your life around. Like the story may affect you, but it didn't change you. Like God's grace, His love, His mercy, it didn't change you. You're caught.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible literally says a specific number of how many is going to get into heaven. Those are the chosen ones. This is how I say it. You can be a believer, but if you're not a follower, you're not chosen.
Period.
Those are two different things. You can believe all you want, but if you're not following Christ, you can go to church, you could be a good person, this and that, but if you're not living according to the law, if you're not living according to His word, living it out and walking in His word, you're not chosen.
And it don't matter how many excuses you make or how you try to sugar it up or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and the word don't change.
It doesn't.
It's what it is.
Yep.
To be different. Oh, not me just took a screenshot. Okay, so back to you.
Um,
So so
Let me see your notes, I'll tell you.
so we made it to you was your baby 8 months. You was in your car, and at that moment I asked you, when did you find God? Like, because you had originally said that you wasn't really fooling with the big God.
yes.
So you found Him in the car. You changed your life.
I didn't change my life
Yeah.
right then and there. No. I just started loving. And I start trusting, trying to learn Him and trust Him. I wasn't even reading the word or nothing. I went to church every blue moon, popped up here and there, but I talked to Him a lot more. That was the biggest thing for me. During this period, I had fake pay stubs. That is a crime. So guys, anyways, I did stuff. Past tense.
Past tense.
Past tense. I did stuff to get an apartment.
You had a CPN.
No, I wanted to, but I didn't trust it. It was too much money too. Like I gotta pay somebody to,
$250.
and then I still gotta pay the deposit and the rent. It was just too much. Like my mind was not thinking right.
I had a CPN.
Okay. Well, yeah, well, let's not talk.
Yeah.
Everybody in Colorado CPNs. It's
Not me.
disclaimer.
I didn't do that.
I was young, dumb, and full of stupidity. It was years ago. But see, the thing is, a CPN is something that people could create. They can make up a fake social security number or something like that. Yeah, what she just said.
So
I
I
know
never,
what she
I
said.
was not even knowledgeable about anything like that. So I'm innocent. Yeah. That's why I'm
Me, I use Canva and I just screenshotted different dates and I went on Google Docs and I wrote up a fake date and then screenshotted it and added it to the photo of a pay stub I already did, but it was just old. I just changed the date.
Don't you be loving that? She loving it. Don't you? If she working, she the police.
No,
We telling she the police.
it's not gonna work because they was able to tell that it was fake and like it was disoriented and everything.
Oh, you ain't changed the numbers for.
No, it just looked like it was fake.
It looked like
They printed out. They printed out. Yeah. So when they printed out, it was weird.
That's why you take a picture. You
y'all,
screenshot it. Okay.
not giving no how to be
You screenshot it, and then when they print it out, it's gonna look like it's supposed.
Anyways, they knew I faked it, so their biggest thing was to just see if I worked at that job. Like,
that's when you give them your best friend number.
No, I did work at the job. Oh. So in every job I left, I have not left on bad terms.
Okay, I'm sorry, I won't tell nobody else.
I left one job on bad terms, but they needed that. I never left a job on bad terms, so they was able to give reference for me and everything like that. Long story short, ended up getting to the place.
Y'all, she been saying long story short since 7 o'clock.
Literally. The place was terrible. I had brown water.
Ew.
My daughter was breaking out. It had mold. It just nothing was advertised how it was supposed to be.
Was it on the east side?
No, this is in Hazlitt. I was the only black person in the neighborhood. My landlord was racist. I went through so much there. I'm a smart girl though. I got a tenant and landlord book, read my rights.
As you should.
Went down to the township. Had them to come over there, red tagged the apartment. They found over 20 something different things wrong that I didn't even know of. Open up an escrow account. This is all legal. Open up an escrow account. Put my money in there. So in the escrow account just protects you. So that way
you ain't paying no rent.
Exactly. And you basically have your funds in that escrow account. And you have your funds in that escrow account until they fix everything up. And they only get so many chances to do it. I already read my law and stuff. They sent me an eviction notice, this and the third. That is a violation.
She said, long story short, 3,076 times.
No, literally. That's how you know I grew up in church. Okay. So yeah, so anyways, went to court. I did win the dismissal. The judge told me to come back and get compensation, but it's really hard to find a lawyer. So if y'all know lawyers, it's really hard to find a lawyer when it comes to tenant situation. I can't go. I would been able to go to small claims court, but I say they violated, and it was child endangerment and welfare. That's a thing. So I have to get an attorney for the compensation.
I got one for you.
Well,
Yeah.
we in there.
Like swimwear.
No, I'm for real. Like
me too. She on
it
vacation.
hasn't even been a year yet.
She on vacation right now, but no.
It hasn't even been a year yet.
One of the coldest in Lansing.
Yeah, they told me to come back.
Last name Walker.
How you know? You last name Walker, the coldest in Lansing. Don't say her name. She might not want you to say her name. They ain't say her name. She's a keeper.
Yes. So
I just was trying to pick it. I think I was trying to get her too one time.
Your face, why you like what's
I think I just stopped.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think the pace wasn't working. Well,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Through all of this though,
did I say that?
Mm-hmm.
I almost, but I
You said her first name too.
I heard another first name.
You said it.
I said the beginning, the initial, that's it.
She didn't mean to say your name.
Yeah, I didn't mean. I'm so sorry.
She probably ain't watching anyway then.
She's doing lawyer stuff.
She on vacation. Her baby just turned 6 today. She took her to Mexico. Okay? I can't wait to grow up and be like her.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna touch you.
Like, you're okay.
Look here.
So this was in 2024. I started praying because it's something that's called con- I forgot the word. But anyways, the place is so bad, like it's inhabitable that it's like being evicted already while you're living in there. So I just started praying and praying and praying. I forgot that like a year before that I had applied for housing assistance and everything. I had got approved to go in a house, but I was really picky. And I know how can you be picky when you ain't got nothing? Hey, I still have standards. So I was going around from house to house, and the lady was getting tired of me because I was like, nope to this, nope to that. She's like if you ain't got nothing, why you being picky? But I just knew what God had in store for me. I finally went to the place that I picked out today, and I went up to the steps or whatever, and I just thanked God. I said, it might not be as big as I used to or I want it to be, but it's in your will. I just remember praying and talking to him. And I went downstairs and she's asking me, was this the one? I said, well, and then my daughter was by the stairs and she said, yay, happy. I looked at her. I said, yeah, this is the one. And then the lady started smiling and everything. And I remember I came into her office and I just started busting out crying. She don't even know. Like I just tearing up. And in 2024, I had prayed to God that 2025 was going to be my year in terms of getting back some of the things I had lost. I prayed for a house specifically, not no apartment. I prayed for prayer room. I prayed for just stuff to go in order, stuff to be orchestrated. I told him I didn't want nobody. He already stripped everybody, so I had to come up with the fact that I was okay with being isolated. He told me everything I'm about to bless you with is for you and your baby.
Yes.
This time, keep it for you and your baby.
Yes.
And I didn't fully understand what he was talking about until I started getting stuff like this house and stuff like that. And when I got the house, that's when my life, like, for the first 2 months, it was still bad. I had ended up getting delivered in June. I got delivered because God gave me a dream that I went to hell. And the only reason was because I smoked weed. I've been trying to stop smoking for a minute now when I was doing it and everything like that. And I had prayed to God to help me to stop smoking. Um, Tell me why after I prayed that prayer and I had my dream, I ended up in a hospital. I wasn't able to breathe or nothing. I went literally, I couldn't even go to the car. They kept just prescribing me inhalers, nothing was working. Um, Went to Sparrow, obviously that don't work. So I went to McLaren. McLaren found the issue and um, they told me they was like, you gonna have to stop smoking or you about to die. And I said, what? They was like, yeah, you could die. Like you're on the verge. Like you're gonna die young. Like the way you can't breathe, this, that, and the third, and your images of your X-rays and your lungs are really bad. And you're really young. I said, but I haven't been smoking that long. I said I smoke a lot, but most people be smoking like their whole life. I still haven't been smoking, so I'm still trying to get around
Making excuses.
Mind you, I'm in the hospital high, so like I just like for real, I was that bad. I went to church high. I did everything I wasn't supposed to do.
Hi.
It was high, like kite. It was bad. Long story short, after he said that,
I'm about to start saying that.
I went and smoked right after he said that. Yeah, but it was one time I went to go light the blunt and it wouldn't light. I unrolled it, I rerolled. I got a new leaf. I did everything I'm supposed to do.
Everything you weren't supposed to do.
I broke down the stuff. It wouldn't light. And that's when I literally remember what God had showed me.
Like, I was like, what I gotta do? I'm gonna slap your face.
Slap you in your neck with my sandal.
I literally saw the dream I had. and everything.
So
I just
good.
stopped. Literally, I had to stop.
Sponsor.
And my health had went back up. Of course, I had withdrawals because it's not that easy. I started gaining weight. I started being able to eat. It didn't happen all fast, but I just started getting on the right track. Then, boom, I wanted to be delivered. Like my life was like, I just wanted peace, and that was the biggest thing I prayed for was peace in my mind, peace in my life, peace in my mind.
And look
Girl,
what
I'm trying to get myself.
Live in peace. I just wanted peace. So
You see me look for my cup. I'm trying to get mine too.
I went and got delivered. My mom is the one who actually helped me get delivered. And when I say that stuff is real, like people doing all that, I literally was having demons coming out of me. I literally, like my back, I couldn't walk and I fell to the ground. At first I thought delivered, but it was fake. Like that was the devil playing. Like I was delivered. My mom knew. She knew the signs or whatever. And I don't remember too much. I just remember looking around a lot and my back dropping to the floor. And I said, I can't walk. I said, my back got real tight. Like I just hunched over like that. I couldn't move. Um, she put blessing oil over all my tattoos, but they forgot to anoint my back. And that's when I had that spiritual attack at church. Um, mind you, I was the first ex I was with, when I say it was spiritual warfare with him, they didn't know, but his grandma had an altar underneath her porch before she bought the house. They just built a brand new porch, and it was an altar there. It was times where I was in his house and stuff moved around and stuff like that.
It was an idol god altar.
Yeah. No, like not our type of altar.
No,
But like the
that
altar
somebody went to the
with
altar
demons.
under her house before they sold it to her.
Oh my God.
And whenever he would crash out, it wasn't a normal crash out. It was like demonic or nothing, something. But they believe in God. They went to church this and the third, but they had their own. That's why it's very important to watch who you hang around, who you have kids with, this and third, because generational curses is not just from one side; they come from both. And sometimes you never know what kind of demons and stuff you're entangling yourself with. It would be times like, yeah, stuff was actually moving in that room, like, and this is no joke. Like, this is real life stuff. Even when I went to college, stuff happened at college. The light will flicker. The sink came on one time, like it, and that's another story. I'm gonna come back on another time and tell y'all about.
Sure can.
That was crazy. And I was telling God like how I wanted to apologize to Santa Third, da da da. Before the year ended, I had an ex that was in high school who ended up texting me. And I confronted him. I said, no, I said, you're not going to be texting me. I said, you need to text me and apologize for lies you made up during high school. Because he told everybody that he was crazy. He told everybody that I did something, like I called the cops on him and everything. No, he was an abuser. That's one of my things too. He was an abuser, and I went and told his daddy. And his daddy came up to the school and told on him and had to remove him from my stuff and that. And it was just a big old thing. They wanted me to go to court and everything, but I never went. So he was able to come back to the school. And I didn't go to court because I was still going through with my dad. So I didn't want to do all that. And this was in 10th grade. So they had all the proof and everything, but I just never went to court. But he came back and he was telling my business about my dad. He was telling them how I called the cops on him. And that's why I said, your daddy did that. He didn't want to believe it. I showed him the proof, da da. So in 2025, all these years, all throughout high school, I got bullied and stuff because of that. He finally ended up texting me and apologizing. It still wasn't a full apology, but it was something. He's like, my bad. That wasn't even me. That was my bro. And he said his bro name. I said, well, I'm gonna just accept my bad. That's okay.
And exclude the lie that you added.
The lie, because even his bros making fun of what happened to me with my father and all that. So it's just a lot that happened. Your girl been through it, but
been through
you grew through it. You are growing.
You're not there no more.
Yeah.
Praise God.
So right now, the biggest thing that has helped me, part-time job to stay busy and have something. Also what helps me is volunteering. Volunteering is very important to me because I was one of those. I still go to the food bank because
Me too.
it's okay, because stuff ain't how it
I
used to be.
ain't too proud of that.
I still go to the food bank, the clothing pantry, you name it, and I still
Clothing
give
pantry.
back. They have you.
I used to volunteer at one. We used to be in the mall, but they're not in the mall.
Yeah, they're
no
not
more.
in the mall.
And then
They
I
got
saw
the free
Free
tea.
on the free store.
Crystal, right?
Yeah. Pennsylvania is over there
On the,
off
off
High
of
Street.
Pennsylvania?
And it's on High Street.
It's like off there. But anyways, yes, I volunteer. I'm very involved in my child's life. I wasn't working for a really long time just so I can build that bond and connection with my daughter. And I felt bad because I feel like I was missing out on a lot of stuff because of prior. Um,
It's okay.
so
Because she's
yeah,
still young.
she's still young. She's my best friend. Like that girl, she don't even know. Like it's so weird too because for her to only be 2 years old, it's like I got somebody my age. Like she cool, bro. Like she real like cool. Like she got her moments.
Cool, bro.
She got her moments, but she me. Like you know, that's me right there. She got her.
Her dad
But
is her dad is still
she is hilarious, and that's what my grandma told me. My grandma said her personality must be her dad's because you. So I'm not me. I'm just a serious person. Like I said, I'm not me. I said, but my grandma know what I did. So like you know, I take stuff. I'm a little crybaby. Not.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, my daughter is hilarious and she's funny. She helps a lot. Being able to have a basement because I wanted a prayer room so bad. Just being able to have the opportunity and space because so my car was my prayer room and that car was anointed. It got places A to B. Um, even now with some stuff going on with my car, I still got the car.
You hear?
So
You need a mechanic. I got that too.
So it's like God is working, He's orchestrating, and that's just the point of His sovereignty and His providence. Um, so my whole point was to just be done over functioning, done overthinking and everything. If you don't know, sovereignty moves the hearts of others. Sovereignty is when it moves the hearts of others and shakes nations. And it just lets you know that God sees you. Sovereignty is the umbrella of it all, meaning that God has supreme authority and complete control over all creation. His will can't be overridden. He isn't limited. Humans still have free will though, but God is still in charge and He has the last say so.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want, but there's only two places you can go, and it's only one person you got to answer to. And at the end of the day, God got the last say so whether it's gonna be good or bad.
That's right. That's
Providence, providence is caring. It's the caring of God, the guidance and the nature of God. He protects in this area. He corrects you in this area, and He directs you. He works through blessings and hardships. He's subtle only recognized in hindsight. So providence usually is you're able to realize it after the fact of it all happening. So sovereignty means that God is in control, is God's authority, and providence means that God is at work, and that's His care for you. So behind the scenes, while everything is already happening, God is already doing it. He's already working out. He's already caring for you. You usually don't realize it till, it's already done, or your blessing is coming. Every now and then you can see it in the midst of it, but that's usually when you're a pro athlete in the spiritual realm. When you up
You
there.
better say that.
So yeah, it took me a minute, but we got here. And,
Yes. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
All praise to the Most High God.
That's
So
so good.
So good. I want to ask you, how do you feel now that you got it out?
feel good. It took me like even just till last year to be able to step back outside. So like I feel good. I was scared to show my face and stuff, but I was like, you know, the favor. Because if I would have did this a few years ago, y'all would have been like, "Yep, DC, you going through it."
Yeah.
But grace and favor is the same thing. Favor is just a new term because we young, you know.
Yeah.
That's the Old Testament. That's grace, right
Yeah,
there.
you better
But
say that.
but
Because they don't talk about the
yeah,
Old
they don't
Testament.
talk
You
about the
better
Old
talk
Testament.
about it.
So I feel like it's very important because 9 times out of 10, most people you're not going to be able to tell what they've been through or what they're even going through. Grief is a big thing. Grief, it would never end. It's just how you handle your grief.
Yeah.
If you're in your healed season of grief or your unhealed season, or if you're in the mid part. So that's something that will always, be there. at the end of the day, I always pray and thank God for the past. I thank Him for the future, and I thank Him for the present. I'm very thankful to be able to go through what I went through because at the end of the day, just like we talking about providence and how God orchestrated everything. If I was in places a split second earlier, if other people was in places, if things didn't happen how they were supposed to, things could have either been worse. Like so I'm very grateful, and I'm even grateful to go through what I went through with my father because it already made me realize that the battle is already won, and God worked it out with my father, and but look how long it took. That took 12 years. Even if stuff's still not working out now with some of the things, I still got time at the end of the day. And I don't want to go to hell.
I don't want to go to hell.
I really don't. Like that's and people take that too light.
Yeah.
It's like I don't get it. Like y'all want to change people. Y'all change anything. Like when the news is on, this and a third, they tell you something about to happen.
Don't try to put off all the shit.
Y'all want to do all that, but when God tell you He about to come back,
God's like, oh yeah, I
You're
heard that
setting yourself
before.
up.
okay,
I heard that before.
okay,
When he come back, he comes back.
yes. I still have my hard times. I wasn't even able to walk through a front door for a minute because of the PTSD. I was going parking in the backyard, going through the side door. It was still has been a lot. It still is a healing process. I definitely have my moments where I still like miss or see him this and the third. One thing I have learned is to not speak to the dead. That is a big thing. That once the dead is dead, and no, it's not, and that's in the Word of God. I've learned that if I have dreams of the dead, to rebuke it because that's not of God.
And it's not them.
It's not them.
It's not them. It's a trick of the devil.
It's a spirit, and it's that causes manifestation, so it can grow into something bigger. So I just always pray. It has been things that happened. God put me in my neighborhood for a reason. Like so many things are just awesome. People who are God sent, they're able to see the anointing. They're able to understand. They're able to like I don't know, it's just weird from having everybody to hate you and then having people that really know who you truly are and it's not even family. It just that's when God pushes people in the realm of the book. Like
That's right.
yeah, it's just amazing and it's powerful. Yeah, I look good right now, but yeah, yeah, therapy has been a big one. But before I just started therapy actually this year.
That's good.
God was my therapist, and He told me that. Not going to a therapist until I fully healed. Last time I went to a therapist, they prescribed me depression pills, and they still sitting in the drawer. I didn't take. Um, God wanted me to be my therapist, but my biggest thing is God loves the honeymoon phase. Like the honeymoon phase is when you're a babe in Christ, and it took me going through the honeymoon phase to really know that God was there for me. You know, when I was homeless, cops pulled up, shining light, praying. All I said was Jesus. I didn't have nothing else to say. Jesus, and they left. Came back again. I said, Jesus, I got my baby with me. And they left. Like that right there, that just showed me enough how powerful God was. God is cool. He didn't show me some stuff. I didn't been through some stuff. He's amazing. Yeah, and it's just seeing stuff come to pass that he had showed me or told me. I just love him so much. I don't even know. Like I can't believe I made it this far. Not even as far as the podcast, but as far as my mind, as far as my love for Jesus. Um, and as far as me even not even being able to cry, I'm so surprised. Like God is so cool, bro.
You cried
Like,
a little bit.
Y'all,
My sister was crying.
I'm a G.
I sure was.
I'm a G.
Now let me ask you this: so, what would you tell somebody that's going through the same thing that you went through right now?
I would tell them to hold on, and I know that's very common, but it's deeper than that. When I came onto this podcast, I said, "Yeah, this might be for y'all. This definitely for me." What you're going through, yes, they always say that it's meant for somebody else, but it's definitely meant for you. Because just like Job, he lost everything and gained it more. But if he wouldn't have lost everything, I wouldn't have known how to treat
What he got.
what he had. Even his own wife told him to neglect God, leave God. You know what I'm saying? And he went even over his wife and still trusted in God. And so for me, it's just like whatever you go through and whatever you are going through, just talk to Jesus. It don't even have to be a prayer. You could talk to him like I'm talking to y'all, like just a regular conversation. And one way to test God is to ask Him for certain things. Hey God, if you real, do this, do that. And don't. He's not no musician, but he can do anything. But ask, like I'm just saying, ask for stuff. You're gonna either see it come to pass in the future, or it's gonna happen right then and there. God is gonna always show up and prove Himself, and that was one thing that allowed me to get through it. Is asking God certain things and watching Him do it, whether it was right then and there or not.
Don't be trying to ask him no stuff though.
That's what I
in
said.
His will though.
That's
'cause
right.
He is not gonna do that.
Only ask for stuff in His will.
In His will. 'Cause
But,
it's gonna
yeah.
be like, yeah, you tried it.
Like when I had no money, people randomly was giving a like I really did not. I don't know if I looked at broke or something, but like giving me food and stuff. Like people was really helping out. Even if it was just a fry. Like like so it was just like certain little things. Like people, you never know what someone is going through. So in the midst of you going through your stuff, don't hate the world. That was one thing I did. Don't turn your back on the world. Um, Especially if you're in Michigan, it's a lot of opportunity and it's a lot of open doors here. Um, for everyone. But through it all, just continue to pray for your fruits of the spirit. That's very important. Um, and just continue to ask God to show up.
She was like, she said, I don't know if I look broke. But I think that you're absolutely strong. And I'm gonna ask you this question again. What would you say to the little girl?
I think I just said it.
Did you? To the little girl.
Okay.
You didn't say it. You said to the healed and grown you.
Okay.
But what would you say if you was looking in the mirror right now? Like look at yourself right there and it's that little girl.
I would tell myself to trust myself.
You were 4.
Oh.
The 4-year-old. What would you if that little girl was looking back
question.
at you? You ain't even got to answer right now. Just put that on that other note, the note that you don't put right here that you ain't put next to your favorite scripture. But yeah, put that on there and write a letter to yourself. The best thing I did during my encounter, like I absolutely love my encounter teacher.
I actually did that too with myself, like from my molestation or whatever. I did tell myself, like once I got older, like I'm proud of you. We're not there no more. We're not in that space no more. We done got fed. You done found your boy.
Right.
I did actually tell myself that, and was looking in the mirror as I was. That was part of my healing.
Yeah.
But she was talking to me like, "Girl, we don't gotta deal with it. We're not gonna ever let it happen again. We're not gonna be in certain situations where a person can even present how the space to even think that they can do something like that.
Right.
We're not gonna put ourselves in that type of situation." I was ministering to myself.
She asked, "Do you see yourself sharing this story with Dad?" Hello.
Oh, that was okay.
I was gonna say which story, but as far as her father,
She was like these stories. She said, "Do you?" Yeah.
Yes, but I plan as far as like the stuff with my dad and stuff. I plan on waiting until like she's like 16 and up, because sometimes kids can use your past against you and their imagination, throw stuff in your face, tell you like I don't know. It's just certain stuff. But as far as her dad, she already know. And I'm gonna keep telling her. She look at her dad picture and say dad and say she loves him. Like she talks to his picture sometimes, but I had to lower that down because sometimes she'll point and say like she's talking to somebody, or she'll say dad and it's we looking at a corner. So I had to stop a lot of that stuff because that is like spirits that's not of God, and I don't want.
So I want where did y'all get that that's not of God?
It's there. That's Bible.
Yeah.
Which part?
The dead know it's not. Like the dead is not supposed to be able to talk to you.
You're not even supposed to have no iron. You know how people be putting the ashes in their house because they loved one passed away and stuff like that. You're not even supposed to have that.
I didn't know that.
Wow. Like my sister is up in my cousin's house right now because she does sister and stuff like that. And I get it because you miss your loved one, but it's just the enemy tricking you.
Yeah, that was a big thing too because I have all his stuff in the
I beg to differ. I mean, like I just don't. But I mean, it could definitely be there. It could definitely be there. But I only say that because if it wasn't of God and he don't play about these kids, why do kids see these spirits?
Because the mother spirit don't have no projected person. They don't care if they on the kid or on the adult.
Kids see good spirits too. But the younger you can get them,
Yeah.
That's the most they're vulnerable. Like when they're young. That's why a lot of stuff people go to when they're young. It doesn't even have to be three. Sometimes people went through stuff at birth, like a little bit later, 10 years old. But the younger he can get them, that's when you're most vulnerable and things like that. That's like even when you're getting delivered. That's why you look around a lot because you're looking for somebody who's weak and who's vulnerable or
So let's
believe in
jump
Christ.
on it too.
Yes, when you're a child, you have no really authority over your spirit. Like you don't know nothing really as far as like praying, rebuking. You don't know those things, but I like to get them while I was young. For a minute, I did think it was fine and cute because I was like, okay, she's knowing her dad and stuff, but I just didn't want it to manifest. As far as like now she's angry and stuff, or like it's telling her stuff,
Right.
telling her to do this, telling her to do that.
Yeah, that's different. And I think that goes to what Kiana just said, because she said, I think is what we give life to, and our intentions with what we see, read, and listen to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I only say that because my 3-year-old literally was just saying that he have a friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I said that. And his name is Jeremiah. He's a little boy.
But you gotta separate the two, because little kids have imagination.
Right. Yeah.
And it's okay to have imagination. Having imagination and talking to the dead is two different things.
Yeah.
So,
but like now he starts saying Jeremiah told me to do this. Jeremiah told me.
He don't be doing all that crazy
But,
stuff.
like,
But no, we see that
like
stuff
that.
in movies.
Yes.
Yeah, you see that stuff in movies. But you want to know what's? Let me see.
Let's say Jeremiah told him something, and he's like, "How do you know?" Like So like you start to notice like different little things.
Pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention to the signs.
But when I tell you my house is blessed by the best.
Yeah.
I mean blessed by the best. Since I anointed my house, people don't even come to my house. Cause mama like, it's 10:30.
So are we done here?
So is there anything else you like to say to the people? Y'all, listen, I
just said something on mine. I've been dropped so long.
3 hours. We've been on this thing 3 hours,
and I ain't mad at.
Hold on, because it's about to go to. I'm a number thing. It's about to go to 3:33. We about to be on this thing for 3 hours and 33 minutes right now.
So this stuff is I do apologize because this stuff is so delayed. So I'm getting messages from back when, 25 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. But
you just getting them, or you ain't see them?
So I'm just now getting them. Y'all ain't see me over here trying to trying to look stuff. She said the word is contaminated. That C word that you was trying to say. Then she said, I agree. People do need.
Like, what did I say?
With Northwell, I don't remember either, Mama. I'm so sorry. Like, this thing is so delayed. We're gonna have to try to figure this out. I don't know. Because last time we wasn't even on here, we was on the phone and it was still delayed.
Hold on, because when you look at my Facebook on here, it's delayed, like super delayed.
So
I don't understand.
Like that on my phone.
Yeah,
it's okay. They still getting the point.
Y'all still getting it though. So we love you. So will you come back?
Yeah,
you will come back. So she feels comfortable enough to come back, you guys. So publicly, we just want to thank you for being here. You have been a blessing. Thank you for trusting us enough to share your story on our platform.
Yeah.
God is really doing something with you. I cannot wait to see the heal, all the way heals you. He's going to do something amazing. And I hope that we just found another sister, because you is an awesome person. I love your vibe, your energy.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a picture before you leave.
We're doing that.
Yeah.
Kiki said, it's like Kiana said, she been said this, but text her and let's do a book for real. I will support you through it, however God allows.
Okay. All praises. All praises, all praises.
Won't he do it? Yes.
I just wanted to say, thank y'all for having me. Before I even fully agree, I was telling her I gotta pray on it. I gotta like I gave her a text now number. Like I'm just you got my real one. So
give me a text now. What you thought I was? What you thought I was?
She had to check for God first.
I had to check for God.
Which one? The first number you text me from? So you better ask God to forgive you. Someone from this my other number.
It is my
other number.
Oh, you right.
But
she gave me the number. She get them strangers that be trying to get her number. Like, can I have your number? Yeah, here you go.
So
So remember I
just-
took you from today. That's your real number?
yes. I just want to give. I used to have 3-4 numbers. Anyways, I just want to give all the praise and honor and glory to God
Yes.
for even putting them into place and position and allowing them to even be able to do testimony Wednesdays. Because you never know. You never know. And how God orchestrated it and how he just, gave them how everything fell into place and at the right time. Literally at the right time. So I'm grateful and I thank y'all for listening to God because that's the most important thing. A lot of people for listening to God and being obedient and walking in Christ. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
First of all, Big G.O.D is my best friend. If you don't know, now you know. Because you know what G.O.D, yeah, you know me.
Before we leave off of here, I just want
I
to
say
say,
everything.
so just to let everybody know that I do have a sister who is a doctor and she specializes in trauma. She just wanted me to get it out here just in case anybody may need trauma while going through their experiences. Y'all will know and have her information. Her name is Demetria Watkins, and you can find her on Facebook. She is a licensed practitioner and a behavioral specialist. And she deals with a lot of childhood abuse and PTSD and from the last scenario.
Does she deal with grief as well?
Let me ask her and then I'll get back with you because it doesn't say it here.
I have a grief counselor for you, and she's younger. It's my sister, so
Is a counselor and a therapist the same thing?
yeah.
So,
Pretty much.
but anyway, sister, I did what you asked me to do, so I put you out there.
Who is that?
I love you.
That's fine, homie. He's from Florida.
Hey, track stars for kids. Oh, track stars for kids.
Say what podcast?
W podcast.
What is
It's
that?
So y'all know how people talk to chats.
We ain't old.
It means like win, like W, like that's a win. That's a
Thank you.
So who is Murky Ice House for our Live in
that's
Peace
probably
viewers?
somebody. I like sent.
I have no idea, but anyway, for those who are on here, thank you for coming onto our YouTube page. The Murky House for Art is not from YouTube. Remember when I told you it's multiple platforms? You see how like on the side.
Oh, that's for Switch.
That's from
Snitch,
from
Stitch, Twitch.
Yeah, from Twitch. So this is the
He laughing.
this is a stream lab that combines so many of them together. I just couldn't get the Facebook and stuff on there, but we really appreciate y'all coming kicking it with us tonight and kicking it with your girl low.
They'll go to sleep without me.
Huh?
So I said we appreciate them coming and kicking with us and kicking it with their girl low.
Yeah, Big Low, Big Low, not the little one.
They used to be like
Share
Big
and like, share, and subscribe. We just getting started with this podcast thing, so God can help us out by just sharing this stuff so we can help more people.
And then if y'all know anybody that can really help us with how we can stream everything from one platform for as far as TikTok, Snapchat, Insta, please help some sisters out. Facebook, because y'all can't see, but we got other devices going on right here for the other stuff. So just help the sisters out.
4, 5.
Yeah, like we shouldn't have to do that.
Before we leave, I'm gonna leave y'all with scriptures and y'all can go look at them yourself.
I want to go ahead and write.
Okay. Jeremiah 29:11. And I know the plans I have for you. Psalms 46:10. Be still, know that I'm God. Ephesians 2:10. Sorry. The long ones I'm not reading.
Ephesians what?
Ephesians 2:10. Romans 8:28. Matthew 6:26. Psalm 37. 23-24. Psalms 34:18. I know it's a lot, but this is all providence and sovereignty. Isaiah 43:2. 2 Corinthians. Forgot to write down. So we just gonna go ahead.
Just 2 Corinthians, read it
Yeah.
all.
We had to add it for a reason. Isaiah 46, 9 through 10. This one is a good one. I'm gonna read this. I am God, and there no other. My counsel shall stand, and I will accomplish all my purpose. And that goes back to no matter what happens, his purpose still stands.
Right.
Proverbs 19 and 21, which is many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that fulfills. So that means no matter what somebody's intentions are and no matter what somebody has in their heart, at the end of the day, God's mission still has to be accomplished.
Which also means you ain't got to get your lick back.
You don't. And I'm literally a living witness. God will take care of it for you. You don't need revenge. You don't need your lick back. You do that, you might go delay your blessing or miss out on it. Just trust in God.
That's good.
Thank you, Tricks for Kids. I will look into that, and I don't mind paying money if it gets the job done. Right now we're on Stream Live, and I did have to pay some money for this as well, but it's not allowing the TikTok nor the Facebook to be included on that. So that's what the issues that we run to. So I would definitely be studying the StreamYard and check them out. Thank you so much.
Thanks, tricks are for kids, but grown folks like tricks too.
Okay, so until next time, y'all know what
I play too,
it is.
man.
I'm for tricks. So I guess.
Live in peace. Love you guys. Mwah.
And as you go about your day, remember to smile, boo, because it look good on you. See y'all. Peace.